When I first went to university, I was 20, and I know there were people with kids, and I remember being like, how do you do this?
You just do it, you have to.
Yeah.
What's it been like for you becoming a dad? Because you're seeing, even now, your roles and everything, you're seen as the most immature man in Britain, basically, on screen.
Yes. All right.
But behind the scenes, you're obviously, like, you're very blokey, like, grown man shit. Like, what is it like for you now being a parent? Do people still look at you as that silly young lad?
I just think that being a male, a man, I don't think you ever get away from that immaturity.
Yeah.
That always carries on with you. But just having a very traditional working class background. Yeah. You know, I left school at 15 and that was it. It's just like left school.
You didn't get GCSEs?
No, I didn't collect them. I've got some somewhere. I didn't collect them. I've got some somewhere. Don't laugh, because I was told I got the 5 A to C's that I would have needed to go to college, but I didn't go to college.
But you weren't clever enough to then think I should probably pick those up.
I don't know. I didn't feel like school, that I was engaged in school.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, because I don't think I'm stupid.
Like, no, clearly not.
It's that classic thing of just getting a bit older and then finding everything in the world fascinating and going, I want to know everything, and just going, I had that huge chunk of time in my life when I first started when they were trying to teach me all this.
Yeah, that almost like regretful side to that, where you're a bit like, I wish that you'd engaged me in a way where you would have shown me that.
Yeah.
And then I could
but they don't show you Blue Planet at school.
No, exactly.
Do you know what they should do?
Our teacher did.
But yeah, I so you have to have your shit together, and all my friends do as well. Like they left school 15, 16, got apprenticeships. They've all got jobs now, or got firms of their own now and stuff like that. And they're just cracking on. And it's just, you just got to take care of yourself. As soon as you leave school, I don't know, I think it's the same, you know, unless you live in London, I think the rest of this country is totally the same. I think everyone from a working class background has that thing of, if you're not learning, you're working. Yeah. Otherwise you've got to get out.
Why were you not engaged in school? James Buckley, by the way, everyone.
Yeah.
I don't know, really. I guess it's difficult. Teachers have a very difficult job because they have 30 literally immature human beings in their class, so it's difficult.
It's fucking ridiculous, isn't it?
To try and tackle
class sizes alone, man, it makes it almost impossible to fucking learn anything.
Yeah, so it's really difficult to get kids engaged, I think, but it needs to be on both ways. The kids have to want to do it.
And I think one of the most problematic things is nobody feels that there's a point to what they're learning in school. So today you're going to learn you maths, and I was like, I'm going to have a fucking calculator. To be honest, tell me how to add, subtract, divide, multiply. We'll do that in say a couple of weeks. Done. Cheers. But you won't have a calculator in the real world. No, I will. It's on my phone. Do you know what I mean? I don't need algebra. I've not used algebra once.
That's a slight misinterpretation of what school's meant to be.
But it isn't.
No, but it is.
No, I think it is, because it's like, yes, I know you'll have a calculator, or you'll have a computer at some point. Yeah. You won't even need to learn how to spell words because something will do it for you.
Or autocorrect is great.
Yeah, it's just, or sometimes it's fucking shit.
Yeah. At which point then
I need autocorrect really badly. I rely on that guy. And sometimes he really screws me over.
Just so you know, there's not
publicly as well.
There's not a guy on the other end going, you got that one wrong.
But
I know I've simplified it, but what I mean is, like, generally, I think schools could be so much more geared towards the real world. Like I just sat down with an advisor for taxes and all of this sort of stuff, and I'm like, you know, why haven't I learned any of this? This is basic shit that I should have been taught in school. And then I thought to myself, but if people were learning all this in school, they wouldn't be wouldn't be on all the debt that society's in. So maybe that's why. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Maybe there's a reason why it's set up the way it is.
I always think that I learn by doing. And so, like, when I first started out and I first sort of became self-employed, from nowhere, from no education at all, I built a spreadsheet on Excel with all the calculations in it, and I would put stuff in and then take expenses out, and it would calculate everything for me. And So
Are you available to do that for
well,
us?
no,
or?
it just
I think I've got that one.
it's
got
just
that
I do think it's just I don't know. I think it's just where I grew up. People just got a bit about them, sort of
Practical,
Dagenham,
then.
and just sort of go, right, how do I do this? And they go, well, I better fucking learn.
What was your business then?
Well, it was acting.
And
I was
from
I was
15 you went, I'll be an actor.
Yeah, I wanted to be an actor, and then obviously at the age of 15, you don't have to pay tax anyway.
Yeah.
So I wasn't
Brilliant.
worried about
Quit
that
in
sort of
before
thing.
you,
anyway.
yeah. Make as much as you can before you have to pay tax.
16, you do have to pay tax.
Yeah.
So I had a little grace period.
Yeah.
And I was also working a little bit illegally as well, because I wasn't old enough to work. And
Thank you, Channel 4.
I worked it. No, it wasn't that. I was doing sort of. I've been acting since I was 11, and getting jobs and being involved in something or another since I was 11. Never sort of ever thought that I would be able to make a career or be able to live off of acting. It was always just a hobby of mine.
Yeah.
And you know, it's just the Inbetweeners happened. That's the only thing that's changed.
What sort of things were you in before the Inbetweeners then? Was this
The Bill?
as a scallywag?
Yeah, I was in the Bill 3 times, three
Right.
different characters.
Yeah.
It's funny how many people we have had on this that have been in the Bill
Bill's
or have
quite
been
good for
related to the
that.
Bill.
Yeah.
Churning out True Geordie podcast people.
And
Damaged
well,
individuals.
Holby City.
Brilliant.
Never made it onto Casuary. Holby City was on.
Casualty's the real.
I was in the last.
BBC money.
But I was also doing. I wanted to do comedy and stuff like that, and so I would.
Casualty.
Yeah, it was hilarious. But I was doing I'd do a pilot for something, for a new TV show, and it wouldn't get made, or I'd be in a series for something,
Yeah.
and then it would be cancelled.
Yeah.
So like I did a TV show called Horrible,
Right.
Horrible with an O.
apostrophe O,
Brilliant.
and that was written by Johnny Vaughan and starred Johnny Vaughan, and I played his godson in it. I think,
Horrible.
Did he cast you in that? Was that sort of like,
yeah, I think
And
I was
did you
about
get along
13.
quite well with Johnny Vaughan?
Yeah. I remember
He's
that.
a funny one though, isn't he?
Well, I don't know.
Not in an
'cause-
intentional way all the time though. Like he is funny, but he was in his prime. He was really, really good. But when I
Breakfast
spoke
days.
to him a little bit once, everything he says comes across as like sarcastic.
Right.
Even like anything he says. Do you know what I mean?
Really, really relate to
He's
that.
just got this way of talking.
Yeah.
Johnny Vaughan, morning, it's me. Hi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
then
guess so.
he always carries a set of cards with him weirdly, like he's on a show. He'll always do that.
But I was 13 at the time, and he was really nice to me, and so that was sort of quite important, really, because
Yeah.
when you're having fun making something at that age, it's such a formative age. That's when you go, oh man, wouldn't it be good just doing this all the time? I'd love to do that. So I did
Around
that.
nice adults as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that had went wrong, you might
Well,
have thought, fuck this.
That's another thing as well. I've been a child actor.
Yeah.
You know, I was very impressionable as a child.
Yeah.
I was screaming to be molested.
Yeah.
Didn't get a sniff.
Yeah.
No one was
well,
interested.
Can I just
Look
say,
at
nowhere near as cute as Macaulay Culkin. So,
Well, I suppose, yeah.
I mean, he was close friends with Michael Jackson, but nothing's ever come out.
Right.
No.
So
Make
to
your
speak.
own mind up.
We've all crossed our arms, man.
I
We all
reckon,
feel incredibly
I reckon
right.
it was Macaulay Culkin that was
who was molesting Michael.
putting it on Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael was saying, no, you're a bit too old for me. You're 12 now.
You've got a coke habit.
So,
But yeah, so Horrible got cancelled after the first series, and then
Was it on BBC?
Yeah, and then a little bit.
Was that on TV? Was
yeah,
it,
yeah.
Do you remember when that went out and you were sort of like, Mum, I'm on TV?
No.
Brilliant.
I've never been interested in being on television.
Right.
I've always just been interested in making it.
Tell me when it goes on iPlayer.
Yeah, well, yeah. So it's
that really became apparent when I met you, actually. Like, zero fucks given.
yeah.
Don't care.
Got his
Yeah.
own YouTube
Fame
channel.
is not what you're about.
No, not at all. No. It's,
Everything
it's
you've
a
done says the
byproduct.
opposite, just so you're aware. You
Right,
are,
yeah, I know. Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
I really like my job, but just being. It never ever occurred to me that if I get successful at what I wanted to do, I would inevitably be sort of famous.
Right.
I never thought that. I never thought about that at all.
Yeah.
And I still don't. I still don't consider.
Do you not think it's part of, like, in order for me to do what I want, I have to play the game of being famous and making like a lot of money.
I'm really, really bad at that. Really
Yeah.
bad at playing that
You
game.
are bad at playing the game.
No, I really am.
No,
Genuinely.
you are,
I
yeah.
always think, because I had so many people coming up to me, and you know, when that first Inbetweeners film came out, and suddenly we were the hottest property, you know, for that month or so.
Longer
So-
than that.
so
That was
obviously-
it was a pretty iconic.
So obviously
yeah.
we had every sitcom script handed to us. We want you to be in this. We want you to do that. And I just kept saying, no, don't want to. I don't like it. Don't really like it.
Right. As in, you actually didn't like it, or you just didn't like it?
No, I didn't like what was being offered to me. I was
then
like,
fuck it.
Yeah, that was it. That was my attitude. It was like, well, I'm not going to. I didn't do this.
But the thing I'm trying to get at is the purpose. A lot of people want to be famous as well as do stuff.
So then people
whereas you just want to be doing stuff.
Yeah.
You don't want the famous bit. You couldn't give a shit about that.
So then people would say, "Oh, you should you should go. You should meet up with this guy, and he wants to go for a dinner with you, and be seen at this club and stuff like that." And
see, Laurence is a bit more like, I play the game more, but Laurence is the one who was like, I don't really want to go. Do you know what I mean?
I don't.
They're all wankers.
I don't like.
I know they're wankers, but I also really like money. I like the only way you're going to max out, get the most money you can ever get in the game,
of course,
is by turning up to these events and showing your face and becoming friends with the right people.
Go get a free game.
But then equally, if you do that, you're going to get better roles that you want.
Well,
were you typecast quite a lot, do you think, after you played Jay? Because it must be very difficult for a director to look at you and go, I can see him as playing this other role. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like I typecast myself because that's what I do.
Okay.
What
do you mean by that? Like
that Jay character is me at my best.
Right.
I don't think I've got range or anything like that, or any kind of.
Because in White Gold, you are sort of a similar character, and that's just an older version.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's written by Damon Beasley as well.
Yeah.
It's like that's what it was. It was just sort of like
get the gang back together.
And Joe's exactly the same as well, pretty much in White Gold. And it's just that's what we do. That is us at our best.
Yeah,
and
it's like Gervais and Merchant together.
Yeah,
they're pretty much almost the same team in everything they were in together.
That's what I want from them. Mm-hmm. That's what I want.
I don't want
no, exactly. Yeah. So it's like it's sort of like we can't do the Inbetweeners anymore just because of physical reasons, because we're so old.
Yeah.
And I'm the youngest out of the other boys.
Yeah.
And you know, I've got 2 kids, and I look like I do.
Could you not do the? I suppose the problem for you is the Inbetweeners. After you hit a certain age, you've done the Hangover, so you've sort of got. Where do you do the English Hangover? Like, is there any sort of chat about that sort of thing?
I'm comfortable with where we left it. I thought that that last film was. Yeah, I know. Well, I know. Yeah, a lot of people do prefer the first film, but for me personally, I thought we went to Australia. And it felt like we did something big and took this as far as it could possibly go, and it was ridiculous to even think that we'd gone from.
I thought the first film was fantastic.
I remember the first episode, and I remember everyone talking about your line in the first episode, which is when you're in the toilets and they go, you put the balls in.
Oh right, yeah.
Everyone talks about that.
Right, yeah.
Like, just do you not remember?
It's a weird thing to say.
No, I remember when it aired, and everyone was just like, that was such a. Everyone at school was like, yeah, mate, put for the whole week. Everyone put the balls.
I remember that too.
When we were filming that, we were going, I think this is really weird. I don't know if people are going to find this funny. It's a really strange conversation to have. It
took society by storm, I think you'll find.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
It kind of did though, like, because even I remember that line, and I only seen that episode once.
Yeah.
But it was just a bit, like a bit. Me and him are always shouting office lines out and all that. There was, you had that memorable lines like throughout the whole series.
That's good. I couldn't remember them.
You got most of the classic lines. I think you and
Bus Wankers.
Yeah. You had the most classic lines. Was that something the other lads were ever a bit like, he gets the punchline again?
No, I don't think so. I can't imagine so.
Everyone was sort of funny in their own way in that series.
I think so. I think we were all given a chance to.
You all got your moment.
Yeah, I think it was for me. What the fuck is that? Sorry, he's got a prism.
It's very hard to make a podcast with Con.
Just for a second, Con, come over here.
It's getting harder and harder because he's wanting to become the star now. Do you know what I mean?
I'm not. I'm trying to boost your Instagram game.
Con went out.
Instagram game.
Con went out. Who'd you go out with, Con? You went out and took photos with who? Josh. And Josh used a prism.
For those who want to know.
No.
Is that
this podcast isn't about me. So
right? Yeah. No. Who'd you go out
funny
with?
Old thing.
There was a vlog, right? Which vlog did your mate take the pictures with the prism on the roof?
Oh, that was with my mate.
Right. What's his name?
Lamar.
Right. Stop copying him. Get your own fucking ideas with cameras, all right? But lovely.
I've got a diamond one as well. I'll bring next time.
Get fucked.
Just
What were we talking about?
We were talking about.
Sorry.
We were talking
about what you were saying about
Inbetweeners.
what you were talking about playing the game. I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's an important
and
thing.
I'm really, really stubborn in that. Not only am I not interested in playing that game, I really, really make a point of sort of going against it.
Right.
Because you've never seen me in the paper for anything else apart
that's
from a TV show that I've got coming out, or like I've never been interviewed about my personal life or anything like that.
But equally, just I was a bit of.
But you do need to play.
I was
that
a bit
game.
of a reserved character before YouTube, like in the sense of like I'll go to the. Let me explain. Right, he's on that. I'm going to interrupt you every 5 minutes vibe today. I just want to say, I was a little bit like, I'll go to the pub with me mates, and I don't want new friends. I don't want new friends. I just want to. And then when I started doing the whole YouTube thing, and I met this guy, and then you start moving in different circles, and then I was like, actually, some of these new people I'm meeting are actually pretty nice people, and they're helping us a lot. And it's like, I tell you what, maybe I will go to this thing. Maybe I will go, and then I meet a load of new YouTubers, and that sort of helped out the podcast. And actually, what I realised is, it's not as much. It feels like you're playing the game and you're betraying who you are, but actually, when you meet these people, they're all quite similar to you because they're all in the same thing. You know what I mean? So maybe
mine is a bit different on sort of TV and film in that there's
is there a lot more cunts?
There's also much less.
Yeah, but not the people that work in it. It's people that are on the periphery.
Oh, the hangers on.
Yeah, so are those people on the periphery are like
middlemen, agents?
No, not those sort of people. I mean people like the sort of reality TV show people and stuff like that.
Those twats.
And I'm sure.
No, they are.
I'm sure. Well, I'm sure for balance. I'm sure they're nice people, but I don't feel I could ever trust those sort of people because I don't know what their motives or what they're.
They're there to sell their story at any juice that they can get, anything
it's
that they've got.
It's a bizarre way to live your life. I think.
On the last podcast, Rob described it as a bar fight. Like,
Rob.
We're in a bar. Sorry,
Robbie Williams.
Right, we're in a bar
this
fight.
This podcast has come crashing back down to earth, by the way, hasn't it?
We're in a bar fight.
Robbie Williams last week.
And we're all trying to grab things to say and do, and particularly reality TV are the worst for that because they have got no talent. You can't sit and ask them about, so what was it like when you made your first series of this TV show? Like, you literally just go out and get pissed and people video you.
I do think that's what it's become though, isn't it? Because I think originally the idea of reality TV was we'd have the bad guys, but we'd also have these good guys who could almost be people that we'd look up to, and it would be a bit like, he's actually just a nice guy in real life with really great sort of wholesome attitude.
Do you mean like Big
that's
Brother?
What Big Brother used to be like.
Because there was Nasty Nick, who actually turned out to be probably the most three-dimensional person that was on Big Brother.
Yeah, incredibly
fascinating. Ironically, he was sort of a real, like actually quite a nice guy in real life. Yeah. And he was weirdly portrayed as a nasty person for having a pencil. Do you know what I mean?
I think Big Brother is is the best way of showing how reality TV now has gone wrong in my opinion, because Big Brother used to be, let's get a bunch of normal people in a house and lock them in there for weeks on end and watch them go mental. Yeah. Whereas now it's like, let's get a load of fucking nutters already in the house, and it's like, well, that's not endearing. There's nothing. I don't care about these people at all whatsoever. There's nothing to them, and that's what you mean as well when you say that these reality TV people are always sort of trying to get.
They know what they're doing. Yeah, they're aware of it. The greatness of Big Brother was before anyone went into that house, they thought we're going into a house to play a game, and it just happens to be videoed. Yeah, and they didn't know they were going to get famous. They had no idea how famous they were going to be. Now the whole point of going on a reality TV series is to get famous, build your Instagram, all that bollocks.
These people that go in it now, not the celebrity Big Brother. Like nowadays, I don't even know what the difference between the celebrity Big Brother and the normal Big Brother is.
They did blur the lines because in that. So I think that was almost like a deliberate change, because in that one year they put that woman in who was not a celebrity. What was her name?
To convince the people she was a celeb,
and that was quite interesting.
She just looked like a model,
and they ended up getting married.
They're divorced now. With the guy from the.
I cannot remember any name or the
Preston
something boys.
Was his name?
Something boys.
The Ordinary Boys. So
like
Preston from the Ordinary Boys, and she was called Chantel. But the point was that they blurred those lines, and that was almost like a really
dodgy plastic surgery and all of that.
Did she? I've not seen it.
I fancied her in the first time she went on.
She was sort of a very ordinary girl.
Cute.
Was she? Was she an Essex girl?
She was one of those lot.
Okay.
Careful.
But it blurred the lines a little bit, didn't it?
Dumb. Basically, that's what I'm thinking.
Did she come from Dagenham?
No, that was the other one. Yeah. That was the other one.
Call yourself. and it blurred the lines. And also now, if you watch The Only Way Is Essex or Made in Chelsea or Towie,
put it this way,
they're all staged.
I get asked to have these reality TV on a lot to give them some sort of credibility, and I'm like, what the fuck am I going to ask them about, really?
Well, that's the thing as well, because I've found that these people don't, once they do go, because they're vying for the camera, they're vying to get on this camera and for people to look at them, and then once everyone goes, right, we're looking at you, what do you want? They've got nothing.
It really feels
they've got absolutely nothing. They go, I'm going out with a bloke who's in prison. That's quite interesting.
That is actually quite interesting. Yeah, I wish one of them would say that. But they also do this where they go,
I've got stuff going on that people want to know about.
They also go, I'm having a breakdown because you're all looking at me. So they go, why you all look at me? I'm having a breakdown from all the fame. And you're going, but you've asked for all this. You wanted this for such a long time. That's why I sort of like, I mean, don't be don't be mean to people. I think is something that I like to sort of live by. But it's really difficult because a really bad sort of guilty pleasure of mine is reading the Mail online. Right,
I love it. Like I don't know why.
It's all the celeb bullshit.
So you put your browser on private,
and I like to. I've got an app on my phone. I like to
VPN
read the comments. Yeah, because it's just they're funny because I don't know where these people get this energy from. It is just sort of like, and I get really I panic if I'm in the Daily Mail online. So I'm like, that's it. It's just like a load of people are going to say a load of stuff that I already know. It's just like, God, he's a weird looking weirdo.
You're shitting me.
Stuff like that. And I go, well, I do know that, but why do you think? But I like reading the comments when it's someone else.
Right.
Have you got any favourites that you remember, or sort of topics that you automatically go to when you're on the website?
The football ones are good as well. I mean, the Daily Mail football section is genuinely quite good. Like
they get a lot of scoops, don't they?
Yeah,
because they're so nosy.
No, they make a lot of stuff up.
Yeah,
and then eventually something will be right.
Shit sticks.
If you say everything,
shit sticks.
Something will be right.
I love seeing footballers on holiday. They look so happy. They look like they look so like they're just with their family and having a great time. And I genuinely go, oh, that's lovely.
Yeah,
and then just move on.
But when you read the Daily Mail online, it'll be like, oh, we saw this girl from television on the beach, and it'll be like, oh Jesus, look at the state of her. Like uncomments. Which is sort of like, and I sort of think, well, that is me.
Making these like for me though, to say that about a girl like publicly, like she probably is in
really
better shape than you. Let's be honest.
The thing
if she's having a paparazzi follower, and she's well aware of it, I'm no doubt.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. So first of all, it'll be staged. They'll be getting money for those photographs. This is how celebrity works, and this is why you don't see me walking out of a club or a pub or something like that, or because what coincidence it would be.
Does the club ever pay you not to walk out of it? Sorry, did you not walk out in front of it?
Out the back. They're sort of like,
pay you 50 to walk out the back.
I go, I'm getting special treatment. They go, well, no, we don't want you associated with this club. But it's sort of like, it's such a coincidence that you see someone who came fourth on the X Factor, who's getting papped or whatever, and it is like. Well, it's been set up. That's all been set up.
I feel sorry for the guy who's finished fourth. He's currently listening, being like, "Fucking hell, wish I'd come third."
But you know what I mean. And then people will write rude comments, and it's like, well, she did put a fitness DVD out, and you're your whole Instagram and thing like that. You're trying to sell this lifestyle and trying to sell special tea.
The Geordie showgirls in particular have done a lot of that lately.
So if you look not great, then people are going to go. Going to admonish you for that because it's like. But then you're not. I guess that's part of it. You just shouldn't. But it's just sort of like you are asking for it. It's like what you were saying. You're asking for it.
You didn't want a proper job, so you decided to go on reality TV because you couldn't be arsed.
I'm there as well.
Fair play.
I'm in the same
bracket.
But
now they realise that they're fucked, so we have to play the game.
It's a deal with the devil. It is absolutely a deal with the devil. But at the same time, I don't know whether people always realise what they're signing. And I don't know if these people know how painful or how difficult that could be.
It is sort of... It is unfair to
There's a lot of victims, isn't there?
To pick anyone on just the way they look.
But I also feel like just because someone's released a reality or a DVD or something doesn't mean that then you have
it shouldn't.
the right.
It shouldn't.
We've sort of created this environment.
That's the way society is. Like you must
society.
You must know.
Copper 9.
We're on the. What did Bill Hicks say? The ledge be on the edge or something.
Yeah,
you
right.
know?
Okay.
It's sort of like.
And that makes sense because.
But you live in this society as well, and you know how it works to an extent. You must
Absolutely. It doesn't mean I like it though.
But about playing the game thing, like I know for a fact that soon this will dry up for me because I'm stubborn, and I haven't played the game, so I'm not sufficiently famous enough to sort of be seen as a star. And because I'm so stubborn, I will probably just go. I mean, I was looking at buying a fleet of taxis at one point.
It's so ironic because. Well, that's guess. Might be able to help you out with that. Fake taxi. Nice one. So, what do you do together?
Well, I just thought, because I was just thinking, like, what can I do? What can I do once this finishes? You know, I'll pay.
Can't you go behind the camera?
Well, yeah, that's another thing I'd love to do as well.
Directing.
Yeah.
Or writing.
Or producing.
Yes, I'm writing as well, and it's just. But I've got no problem with that. Like, I'll go and be a taxi driver. Like, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I'd always be able to look back and go.
Can we make that into a series?
We did.
As Jay though,
Yeah.
as Jay, when you hit like 40, Jay is live, and every taxi, like every person that gets in, it's Jay telling his stories about what he used to do.
I'll always have that. It's taken the pressure off me because it's sort of like, well, I was successful at one point.
You are successful at this point.
Yeah.
You're on a. So you've been on a Channel 4. Was it Channel 4 that you was on? Yeah, Channel 4.
Yeah.
You've been on BBC.
Yeah.
You have a
You are one of the most recognisable people in this country. Like if I put this picture.
Stop with all the hyperbole. 1 minute ago he was the stupidest man in Britain. Now he's the most recognisable man in Britain.
Yeah.
He's in this
Me and the Queen.
hypercritical.
Yeah.
It's gonna stop us on every.
But that's the stupidest person in Britain.
But you are recognisable.
Yeah.
Like, and that's because you were in massive shows.
Yeah.
You know, you're a funny guy. Why are you acting like it's all over?
Because it doesn't. Because of how I've said no to pretty much everything since the Inbetweeners.
Really?
Just through me going. Just through me just sort of saying I only want to do stuff that I want to do, and I've set this bar now that.
Do you ever look back at some of the memories that you had of stuff that was offered to you, thinking I should have taken that?
No, I never regret. I think it's the opposite of that saying what people do in life. It's the stuff you don't do that you regret.
Right.
With me, it's some of the stuff that I have done that I end up regretting. and the stuff that I haven't done, like it's like, well, whatever.
But that. I still don't. I understand 100% where you're coming from, and actually, we had the same conversation with Robbie, where Robbie was sort of saying he doesn't. So he's an agoraphobe in a way. He doesn't. He wants to meet people and go out and meet people, but at the same time, he doesn't want to go out and do that.
Yeah.
That's sort of the message
that
I got from that. And it seems similar that there is a bit of a weird disconnect when you're a celebrity. It feels like everyone knows you, and actually, that's not a very human way to live.
Everyone thinks they do anyway.
It is. That was something that I had to get used to and to deal with because I'm quite internal and I overthink a lot of stuff. And so I was on a train once and somebody took a picture of the back of my head and then put it out on the internet and said, "Oh, look, this is
been there before.
Jay from the Inbetweeners." And I that really I almost just sort of had a mini breakdown of sort of anxiety because of that. Just that picture really sent me over the edge because I was like, I don't know, what if and this is going to sound pathetic and so overly dramatic. It was like, what if it was a gun?
Right.
I was just like, everyone I meet.
You do think a bit more.
Everyone I meet now has one up on me.
So
I feel like everyone that I meet now, I'm trying to catch up with them because they go, "Oh, it's you," and I go, "Yeah." But I don't know who you are, and
that's the main thing that people who recognise celebrities they forget. Just because you know him doesn't mean he knows you, so don't treat him that way. Yeah, and most people do treat you that way.
Yeah, see the thing is, I don't. I have pictures with people, and I would talk to people about the Inbetweeners because I genuinely think that the Inbetweeners was just a thing that we did, and the only reason it became big was because loads of people bought the DVDs and went out and bought cinema tickets and stuff like that. And so, if anyone wants to talk to, I'm not in the position where I'm not of the opinion where it's like, well, we made something fucking good. So
But
obviously,
it did sort of tap in something at that time. I think that sort of gave it some sort of artistic integrity. I'm not saying it was, it's not quite The Office, but it's
that's
also
probably
not sort of
accidental.
It's not Phone Shop. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of somewhere in between where it's actually a lot of people related to it. What?
It's somewhere in between.
Yeah, a lot of people related to it. I think a lot of teenagers watched it and they were like, "Oh, that's absolutely."
But so because I really think it's because people liked it while it was a success. I don't think it was because we walked into a studio and went, right, we're going to change the world now. We're going to make something really good.
But it was funny because it was a bit like, and you've probably had 100 different people analyse the format of The Inbetweeners to you and tell you why it was a success. But for me, it was that a lot of shows at that time were extremely caricature. So there was stuff like Phone Shop and all these sorts of things.
I think The Inbetweeners is that though.
But what it was like a caricature to a reasonable degree, where people would go, I actually know that guy, I know that guy, I know that guy, I know that guy. It almost seemed plausible in a sense.
Yeah. Well, they were all real stories, so that's
really, yeah.
So that's why it's sort of that's why the realism is there.
So it is real. So it's, in that sense, it's not caricature in any way. In that sense.
Well, I don't think there are people as weird as the four boys from the Inbetweeners.
Well, yeah, you have to turn the volume up in any show. You have to exaggerate a bit, but you gave people something that we could relate to, because
it's like I'm into fucking Darth Vader.
We all know guys like those guys. Basically.
Yeah, I also think it gave teenage boys a little bit of a sort of ownership over their weirdness, because there were four boys who owned their weirdness in a way.
It's certainly, working in comedy certainly done that to me, because nowadays I work with people like I went and made a film in America a couple of years ago, and I was working with like Andy Samberg and comedians from Saturday Night Live and stuff like that. And
what movie was that?
It's called Pop Star.
Oh yeah,
and
I've seen that. It's good.
I was in it. I was there a lot. I was there all the time.
Yeah,
and I was like making people laugh and stuff like that. I was thinking, fucking crack this.
Yeah.
I watched the film a year after it came out because I just didn't have time to watch it, and
big time.
And I was like, not really in it. Didn't make it in it in the end, really, that much. But
you were in it.
That is the.
How did that make you feel?
Briefly. It is what it is. You can't. No, it didn't piss me off.
You still got paid.
Yeah, you get.
But he's not. He's in it for the process.
You get paid, and also I was there, and it was really interesting to work with those people and really fun to do it.
You learn a lot. Yeah,
I learned a hell of a lot, and also I was in Hollywood, and it was a really good way to spend your time.
How long were you living over there?
I was there for about 7 months when I was making that film and doing some other bits and pieces while I was there, and I'm over there sort of a couple of months a year at the moment, trying to just trying to get projects up and running. It's not glamorous at all. Like I'm not going over there and like sort of everything's happening for me. I'm going over there and trying to make things happen.
Do you do that pilot season sort of thing where you shoot
do
a lot of
that
things?
pilot season, and
have you done quite a lot of that?
I've done it quite a lot over the last few years, and again, see, I'm in a really great position in that it feels exciting again, like it was before the Inbetweeners, where I was auditioning for stuff, and because the Inbetweeners means nothing out there,
right?
Like they don't look and go, oh god, we managed to get James Buckley.
Yeah.
Reading into this. No one's doing any. I'm not getting any scripts sent to me or anything like that over there. Yeah. But it's so I have that excitement, but also I'm not just fitting kitchens during the day.
Brilliant. No bathrooms.
So it's like I'm auditioning again, and I have that sort of like hunger, and I feel sort of young again and sort of fresh and new, because I'm new out there. I'm a new thing. But
then you were working with Saturday Night Live comedians who are like the biggest ones over there.
Yeah.
You said you were sitting making them laugh for a while.
Yeah.
Do you, after all of that, like sort of you have a connection with someone, you make people laugh, you feel like, oh, I'm getting somewhere here.
Yeah.
They're taking to me, and then a year later the movie comes out and they've edited a lot of what you've done out of that movie. Do you feel a little bit like, well, fucking hell, I thought I was onto something.
No, because I know how the industry works, and I don't take it personally, and I never have done. I think
why not?
because it's just.
would.
I don't think you've got time because.
I'd be like, that was fucking golden.
Well, then
what are you taking that out for?
99% of your time you will feel like that.
Yeah.
You've got to just, especially when you're first starting out, you'll maybe get 1 out of 20 auditions.
Right.
And it will feel like that. It really will. And so you've just got to go, right, I'm going to go for this casting. I'm going to read for them. Right, I'm out the door. I did that as well as I could. What's the next one? And then if something comes of it, then good. But you need to sort of not dwell on what you've done so much.
When you're doing casting,
yeah,
you're sat there in a room a bit like this, and you're trying to imagine the picture that they've painted in your head and try to bring that to life, but ultimately you're sitting in a fucking room like this
on a couch.
Is it a bit difficult?
No, I don't think so, because I think it's like just sort of playing make believe. I love doing that as a kid, and that's sort of what I do as an adult now. It's just sort of pretending. I like doing that. I call it pretending.
Yeah. But let's all pretend.
What the great position that I'm in is that I can go to Hollywood and I can do the pilot season thing.
Yeah.
But because I've got that In-Betweeners, the box office,
yeah,
sort of there, I don't have to fit kitchens during the day, and also I say no to a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So people are confused because I'm a nobody, and then they'll go, well, he's not going to come in and read for this.
He's
and my manager's like, no, he's not.
Brilliant.
And even my manager out there is like, I really like. I have to have sort of like. I have to give him one every now and then. He's always like, can I just have
an
this
audition?
One? Yes, an audition.
Yeah.
Because it will be like, I'll get 5 scripts and I go, these are all fucking awful. You want me to do these? And I mean, it's some of the stuff that gets put to the point of where they're actually casting actors in it, and I'm like, how has this got to this point?
Yeah.
And
the In-Betweeners USA.
Yeah. Well, Jesus.
Yeah.
And I just say no, because I don't need to do it. Like, I only want to do stuff that I want to do.
That's a great position to be in, though,
it's
isn't
amazing.
it? That's an incredible position.
It's a lovely, lovely luxury. But I can imagine on the other side that these people must be going,
who the fuck's that guy?
Who is this guy? And why is he calling these shots?
But is that not though? I totally see the merit of that, because actually, we're in an industry where if you get offered a deal and you turn it down, people go, "Ooh, too big for his boots." Look at you thinking you're too good for a deal, and you're made to feel grateful for everything that comes through the door. I know very often if you say to me, "I'm not doing it for that much money," because someone comes along and they go, "We've got 500 quid and we need 10 days of Brian, and we can give him 500, but it'll be great exposure for the channel." And I'll go back and go, Brian can't do that. That's silly.
We're chucking a HD TV.
Yeah, and you'll go, Brian, so we've got 10 TVs in his house. Why would he want another TV?
Yeah.
And they'll go, well, why does he think he's too good for it? And people can't see the merit of actually having some sort of artistic integrity and going, well, I don't want to do this because that's not the right role for me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's I'm sort of part of the YouTube thing now after last year or so.
Yeah. I was quite
How many subs?
It was after meeting people like you and Spencer that sort of, and then what were you doing? I was like, they look like they're having a really good time. And also I was jealous because my job was to be literally told what to say. And just cliche actor, you want to be an actor, then you sort of start to become a bit successful at that, and then you go, well, I could probably do everything. I could do all of your jobs. And so this YouTube
you've got to be
thing,
known for saying what you want to say as well.
But this YouTube thing is all about creating your own thing from the conception to the cameras to the editing, just creating it all yourself, and or with your mates or whatever.
Someone who has been a part of massive production by comparison, and then gone down to sitting on the couch, PlayStation's on.
Yeah, there's something much more exciting about it. It's sort of it's. Someone described it to me. It was Paul Kay actually, and he would know, as that YouTubers nowadays are like the punk rockers of like the 70s.
That's exactly what Robbie Williams said actually.
And it's sort of what they're doing, and also becoming really successful and wealthy from it as well. It's like fun and fascinating and exciting and interesting, and I just, you must get loads of people saying, oh, how do I do YouTube? Just do it.
That's what annoys me actually I get quite a lot of messages of people saying, how do I do this? Have you got any advice? And I'm like, well, I appreciate like that they want advice from me, and I respect that, but equally, mate, just put the fucking camera on and start talking about whatever you're interested in. Here's how to do YouTube. Switch the camera on, iPhone, whatever you've got, and talk about what you like.
Yes, that's it.
And just start off like that. See where the fuck you end up.
That's it. Yeah. If when I started YouTube, I like computer games, so I had something that I wanted to talk about, but I also wanted to learn how to use a camera and learn how to edit and learn about music and learn about audio quality and things like that.
Still learning by the looks of it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, all the time, and I love it.
No, because I always see your tweets come up going, how do I do that?
Yeah, that's all my tweets. I'm just like, has anyone got an easier way to... There must be an easier way to do what I'm trying to do.
Mm-hmm. What did you... So would you remember what your first video was?
It was me on my iPhone saying that I'm thinking about starting a YouTube.
So what was your first significant video? What was the first video where you sat down and went, right guys, welcome, here is...
It was probably my first gameplay video where I learned how to do a picture in a box, and capture gameplay.
Which game?
I think it was Call of Duty.
Right.
And sync it all together with the audio and stuff like that.
Were you good at Call of Duty?
No. I'm terrible at video games.
Yeah.
But I always thought I've
noticed.
Yeah, but I thought that would be my thing.
Right.
I was like, well, I watch all these YouTube gamers, and they're YouTube gamers because they're coming up with all this amazing gameplay and achieving stuff and doing things that are interesting to watch.
Headshots.
I was like, no one really is like that. They're like me, that just sort of like to play video games but probably aren't that very good at it. And I thought, well, that could be my sort of thing.
Yeah.
Being ordinary.
Yeah, being ordinary, basically.
You know,
below average, if anything.
I'm pretty sure I rang you when I first seen his video.
Yeah.
And I said, you're not going to believe it, because you're the first mainstream guy to come in this country, from what I can remember. There might be a couple of others who've went from the mainstream to YouTube.
There was Max, and there were two guys from Hollyoaks who also did it. I can't remember what their name is.
I'm not being funny. I said mainstream.
Right, Hollyoaks.
Hollyoaks is bullshit.
At the time, it was massive.
It's fucking bullshit.
It was Max and OB.
Hollyoaks is bullshit.
You must know them.
Anyway. He comes on and he does sort of games like we like as lads would be playing,
real men.
But what made us laugh is everyone else was editing down into a highlight, and I was like, literally.
Yeah, I learned how to do that.
We're like, died.
Yeah,
and it was it was. Then
so
he didn't make a sound for about 60 seconds, and I'm like, when's he gonna fucking talk?
Yeah. That's a highlight for me. So nowadays, what I've done is I've learned that through doing, I've learned you need to cut all of that. And
I kind of like that though, because when I'm playing, I'm like you.
Yeah.
And it was so realistic.
Yeah.
And because everyone's gotten away from that now, it was like
that's it. Yeah.
I quite like that.
I wanted to try and create an atmosphere. It was and I don't know if kids do this anymore because everything's on the internet. But I remember getting home from school, going around a mate's house and playing Pro Evo, and there'd be 6 of us on
sitting,
a couch
watching,
and someone would be losing, you'd be getting a bit of stick for that, someone would be celebrating, and then
did you used to make your own squads?
Yeah, we did. We made our school football team once.
Gaming in person's dying, but I actually think it's
a shame.
Good. It's fun.
But that's
every Friday, me and my best pal, every fucking Friday night, from maybe it's 15, 16 or whatever, we started drinking as well at that age. So we'd have, but even well before then, it was every Friday Pro Evo, and we'd sit there all night and we'd do us two against the world, like whatever. It was fucking great.
Yeah.
Like,
you really bond over that, don't you?
No, like we'd have certain CDs we used to listen to every single time. Like,
Biscuit.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it was cliche sort of shit.
Yeah.
Papa Roach.
But it was like a good memory. That's some of like my favourite nights.
Yeah,
we're like doing that, just sitting playing Pro.
That's what I call music.
It's changed now. The sort of culture's changed.
I don't know if it has.
Slightly. I think it's. I don't think it's changed for the worse necessarily, because it still feels very. It feels more social than ever being a gamer, because there's because of social media, because of the internet. You can talk to your friend who might be in the other town while you're playing a video game.
But
I love how you're acting like you're a 50-year-old man right now.
Well, it's like when you said you go to America, you go, I feel young again. I'm like, yeah.
I'm 30 as well, mate. I've been like...
Yeah. No, but I do. Yeah, I think it's
when we were like 15, it wasn't online as much. It was like
I didn't play,
just starting to get
an
online.
online game until I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
For
Really?
sure, yeah.
We used to play.
Oh no, that's a lie. I used to play Age of Empires. That was the first game that I used to play online with my mates, and that was fucking brilliant.
What did you do in Age of
That was a
Empires?
strategy game, wasn't it?
You play against the other people online, right?
You build an army, and it used to be me and two of my mates, and we'd each have an army. And but there was a certain age, so I think you start off on like Stone Age, and then you get to Iron Age and
Bronze Age.
Yeah, and it's and we had this rule. It's like you're not allowed to start attacking until you get to this age,
right?
So that we all had enough time to build an army,
right?
And then it just turned into like sending in hundreds of people into the middle of the map. We'd all be on like each corner of the map and just throw in,
and then fight.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good fun. It was a really good time in my life.
Look how happy he looks. Look how happy he looks from that.
Before
it is weird that you have those little gaming memories. I used to play a game called Gangsters. Which was like a strategy game as well, and it had all this old like 1920s music, and it had like a Godfather sort of theme to it. I loved that shit.
I actually bought the Godfather game. That was it came in a casket. You bought like special edition. Wow. It came in a casket, and you remember opening the casket. My friend being like, my friend actually came round specifically to watch me open the box. Yeah. Like that's so weird.
Is there a famous casket scene in Godfather?
I guess it's just sort of there's a lot of dead people. Yeah.
I suppose when his brother shot the shit.
There's that as well. I mean, there's not really that many.
Godfather's actually my Christmas video, by the way.
Yeah.
Because I got the box set on Christmas like years and years ago, and I watched the first Godfather on Christmas Day, and since then every Christmas after everyone's fucked off and left, and I'm on my own, I just put it on, and I've got a bag of Thornton's toffees that are covered in chocolate, and
some hand
that's
lotion.
Sorry?
Hand lotion.
And that's my thing. The Godfather.
Yeah.
It's not really a Christmas movie, but to me it is.
It snows.
It's about family.
Doesn't it? Is it Godfather 1 or 2?
After you spend time with family, watching a family kill each other.
Vito Corleone gets killed,
shot
an attempted assassination around Christmas time.
So
because Michael's out buying Christmas presents, isn't he? And he looks at the paper.
Yeah.
See, that's the age I'm from.
Yeah.
Before phones and stuff like that, I used to look at the paper from a newsstand and go, right, I've got to get. Then I'd get
Dad's
to
been shot.
Yeah,
put me through to.
It's a fucking classic, man.
He actually does live in the 1920s still.
4422.
Yeah. That's an old way of we used to have to use lines. They used to be connected by physically back in the day. Yeah. There were some great games back in the day. I used to play Tony Hawk quite a lot.
It's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
absolutely brilliant.
You a big skater?
In terms of those kind of games, SSX, PlayStation 2 come with the, and I remember that. Yeah, I got
that was snowboarding.
I got Eminem and Limp Bizkit albums, and I used to play SSX, and I was like 14.
We used to play
fucking great
NBA 2K whatever online, and there were no one else in the UK was really playing, and we used to get paired up with like people from the States, which, from what I could tell from the voice, one of us would sit with the headset talking smack at them, and the other one would sit like fucking. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I told the story on the podcast before, but so my friend used to play, and I'd be on the headset like talking, and throughout the game, I'm one of those people who, when you hang out with someone for enough time, you pick up their accent a little bit.
Right.
So I'd start off, I'd be like, "We're gonna beat you," and then by the end of it, I'd be like, "Yo, man, see you later," or whatever. Cool, see you. And then like I'd be out, but like a 15-year-old kid on the other end. And the first time we won a game, I felt so happy. We beat someone like with a buzzer beater, like last second. Derek Fisher in the corner. It was like 1 a.m. in the morning, and his parents were sleeping next door. And I remember just being like we couldn't scream because his parents were sleeping next door. I would be like, "Fucking have it!" But like dead silent.
I've played online in an American sort of server before. I think I was playing Call of Duty, and I forgot. I was wearing my headphones, so I forgot that I had a microphone attached. Yeah. And I obviously talk while I'm playing. And this wasn't me making a YouTube video. This was me talking to myself. Yeah. And then I was just getting, "You got a fruity accent, boy," and stuff like this. It's like, and like just sort of like redneck
abuse.
Americans. Going, "What are you, boy? You faggot, boy?" Yeah. Saying this to me. And so my reaction to that is, I always go, because I happen to quite like gay people. Yeah. And my reaction to that is always like, I just start going, oh yeah, no, I was like, well, yeah, I am gay, but only with your dad, and
Yeah.
stuff like this. and then he's like, you don't know my dad, you don't know my, and I was like, I know where your dad is. And he's like, where's my dad? And I was like, well, he's sucking my cock right now. And they go mental. They get so angry.
Yeah.
Sort of
Because they just
stupid
hate the gays
I know
so
I
much.
don't know what are the gays doing.
It's amazing.
They're the least problem at the moment. Just nice, friendly, happy, like literally happy gay people.
Yeah,
That's what
exactly.
they call
Yeah,
gays.
gay gays. Yeah.
It was like,
When I first
mate,
asked my granda, because my granda was the fountain of knowledge. When I was like 8, our Neighbours was on, and my grand, that's an Australian TV show.
I think it's still around.
And Toadie or someone said, I'm gay, and then it was like the like the EastEnders style moment.
It'd be bad if they did.
And I'm just sitting there,
Yeah.
I'm like, what does that mean, granda? And he goes, happy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, seems a bit dramatic for saying happy, but
What a way to ruin a storyline.
no, it took us about a year before I was like, yeah, he was lying. Definitely lying.
Yeah. Why do people? I never get the whole.
I was never really sat down and explained that.
Really?
I just kind of school playground talk
Yeah.
was my education for sex and what is being gay and anything like that. Like if someone had just said, "Oh, it's just when," if my grandma turned around and went, "Oh, it's just when a man and a man are together instead of a man and a woman," I'd be like, "All right then." And like that would have
Back
just
at it.
would have
Yeah,
just
yeah.
been like because obviously being a kid that would just been a perfectly normal thing to hear, but because it was made into a big deal, I kind of thought, oh, that is quite serious then, is it? Like when I finally found out, that's why my granddad didn't tell us.
Yeah.
And in him acting like it was something to avoid talking about made it a big deal in my head.
I think in his defence, it isn't. I don't think
He was in his 60s at the time.
Yeah, well, he's from a different generation, but let's just assume he's not like all the rest of our grandparents who are just homophobic or racist.
No, my granddad is very much. Well, no, I
I'm
remember,
assuming he's not.
No,
Yeah.
I don't know about homophobic, but I remember once he was like, "Yeah, those lot wouldn't carry me bags when I got in the train station once," and that was his sole purpose for like being a bit, towards races.
But I think
Someone
there
wasn't
is a
below
sort of because I think I would if my son would ask me that question, not because it's I have anything against gay. It's just it's basically sex. That's what you're talking about,
Right? Yeah, that's the big issue,
sexuality.
yeah.
So I think I would probably go,
You bottle it.
oh, it just means he's
I
happy.
don't think you would.
I don't know. I don't want to sit him down, and because I'd happily explain like.
Well, how old's your son now?
He's
15.
6.
Right.
So I asked that conversation 2 years from older than what your son is now. So
Yeah.
it's in the post, isn't it? You're gonna have to
Yeah.
have something ready.
So
Were
it's
you
like,
8 and you didn't know what gay was?
I think I was around about 8. Yeah, I mean,
Had it never really come up before?
if you,
no,
you-
I fuck
are,
me,
mate.
Con's just banged his knee. I think I knew that men and men ended up together, but I didn't know the word for that was gay.
right. I
At
didn't.
all?
I'm frightened of talking.
Is that
about
mother's job? Do
anything
you
like
think?
that.
Yeah.
I think she
Ask your
might be
mum.
as well. We're so I think we love them being so innocent and so.
They know what sex is though. If he's at school now, right?
Yeah.
So he must know what sex
I don't
is.
think so.
Mate, I didn't get the sex chat until I was 11 at
Never
school.
had this. I've never.
No.
I've
Sexual
never-
education was 11 years old. It was almost before we left to go to high school. I was 11.
Yeah.
They showed the video, penis into
Yeah.
vagina, boom. All right. Obviously, on playground chat, I'd heard fucking and
Yeah.
or sex or whatever, but nobody had been
No,
diagramming it out
I'd
for
never.
me.
I'd
Amazing.
never had the father-son chat.
Oh God.
I never had that with my dad, and I didn't need it. It's
Dad
fine.
was
Absolutely
away
fine.
by then.
My dad's
practicing.
My dad's sex talk with me was.
Come watch this.
There was no. Just shut the door.
Yeah.
No, he goes. He was pissed. He came home from the pub and he slumped down in his chair and he just looked at me and went, "Son, never get married and never have kids." I was like, "Thanks, mate."
Yeah. Complete it, mate.
Yeah, he said that
my
to me.
dad's had a weird moment lately because
He won't remember saying that either, and he'll
me
think
dad
he
Giving
might
you the
say
talk
that.
recently.
no, he listens to the pod, so just he'll love that he's getting a mention. But he had many relationships with dad. To say he's a ladies' man was a fucking understatement. And he recently became single. after quite a long time, and I was like,
Tinder?
all right, yeah, pretty much. And I was like, look, he gets his own place. I'm like, I'll help you out with, you know, the new place and that. I was like, look, just don't rush into anything. You've literally been one relationship to the other. My dad's been married 4 times.
Yeah.
Just so people get
Player.
the degree we're
Respected.
on. And to say he was faithful within those 4 times would be bullshit as well. So he's a hungry man. And I'm like, Dad, you're in your 50s now. Can we just
Settle down.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
And me, I've said he's bipolar as well, so there's that on top of everything. And I'm like, you know, can we just meet someone in time? You know, you've just got out of a long-term relationship. Straight away, he's like, I'm lonely though. I'm lonely. So he sent us this picture of this girl, and I'm like, who's that? She looked about 20 years younger than him, totally out of his league. And he's like, oh, we've been messaging on the internet. And I'm like, Dad, have you video called her? Like, are you seeing this person talk? He's like, no, but, you know, not bad for me, is it? And I'm like,
great point.
Definitely fake. This is definitely. He's joined some Facebook groups. They're now messaging him. Someone in Asia pretty much knows me dad's like a lonely older man. They're trying to get money out of him or something like that. And I'm like, Dad, it's fake. He went back. The page had been deleted. So it was fake. Then he sends us another one, and then there's this woman holding up a sign with my dad's full name in, saying, I promise you I'm not fake. It's like the most obvious Photoshop sign I've ever seen in my fucking life. I'm like, Dad, do you believe this is
a real
person? He's like, well, you know, it might be Photoshop, but I tell you can't deny she's good looking. I'm like,
I mean, that's a really good point. You cannot, on a very fundamental level, she was good looking. It's just that it wasn't the person he was talking to.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Same on MySpace.
Some Russian or Asian somewhere across the world asking for money at some
Honestly, it's probably not even a Russian or Asian. It's probably someone who lives 20 minutes away from him, and they are just, you know.
But anyway, so I'm sort of his reality check who he brings things to now.
Yeah.
I had a similar friend. When one of my friends first joined MySpace, he was chatting to a girl, and he came around and went, chatting to a girl. I was like, oh, you? And I went, definitely a robot. 100% that's a robot. Or at least 100% that's a... The responses were so generic.
Like something from the...
No, just like a bot online. Like just something that just sort of, you know, repeats conversations back.
I was a nightmare in the MySpace days. I mean, it was great. I was like, well, I don't have to go out. I can still be on the pull. This is fucking great. Like, that was the first time I'd been introduced to that, you know what I mean? So I've been sliding into DMs since DMs existed me, like...
I think this MySpace thing is going to take off, by the way.
Definitely, 100%. The reboot of it was shameful.
Reboot?
They tried to reboot it. They tried to make it a purely music platform.
I did like the fact that when you went on someone's page, music would play, because you're like, oh, this is what they like. Great.
My band had a MySpace page.
Oh, you were in a band?
Yeah. Before the Inbetweeners.
Skirted over that one, didn't you?
Yeah.
I'll tell you the full story, he said before the podcast. Suddenly the band's coming out. Go on, what are they called? Foregone conclusion.
I'm not going to say what we called or anything like that.
Okay.
But it was...
What kind of music?
Indie.
It was Bad Oasis.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
Yeah. But it was really fun. I really enjoyed it.
What were you? Bassist? Guitarist?
I was a guitarist.
Of course.
And
why don't you do that as a series, you know?
What, like a comedy?
Yeah, why not?
It's difficult to do that because of Spinal Tap.
Yeah,
and Gervais did that a little bit as well with his
On the Road,
the Brent one. What did you think of that?
Thought it was good.
Yeah. I suppose you're in an awkward situation.
No, an awkward situation. No,
friends with him.
Listen, I'm not. No. I believe me, I'd love to be. He's a hero of mine, absolute hero of mine. I felt that the thing maybe missed Merchant. I think they're such.
That's the way I feel.
I think they're such a great team.
Have you seen the new Merchant one? Hello, Ladies.
I think that's quite old.
It's quite old.
Sorry, no, the one he's done on his own. I say new.
It's about 3 or 4 years old.
I watched it though, like last year for the first time, and I was like, "This is fucking great."
Yeah, I there's some really funny bits in it.
Didn't carry me.
The bit.
No, it was funny though.
The bit where him and his mate hire a limo. And they start singing out the...
and then they have to do the
they go, hey ladies, born to be wild. And then he has to do a 3-point turn. And they're just like, right.
You can tell Merchant and Gervais from a creative standpoint really miss each other, I think.
I think so. I think Gervais has got some really funny... I think he's obviously a very, very funny guy. Got some really funny stories and really funny jokes. And I think Merchant has a perfect comedic structure that he can put
Bring
those
to
jokes
that.
around.
Yeah.
And I think the pair of them together are just
Do you know
the perfect team.
what went on between them and why they don't speak anymore?
I wasn't aware they didn't speak anymore.
No, they've well, that's why they've never made anything. Like I think
I don't know. I'm not sure if
they've
that's
made
true.
a conscious decision to keep it quiet, but there's quite clearly been a split there.
Do you reckon?
They don't even follow each other on Twitter, mate. Like, and I know that's trivial.
Not even on
But when you think about it, when you look at how many people they do follow,
Yeah.
I think the guy who spent your entire career, who's also always tweeting,
Yeah.
you don't ever tweet each other, you don't follow each other, you haven't worked together in years.
no retweets about their stuff.
No, but there's
Silly me, forgot.
no, there's been, and
I
they've
think
done
it's
it really well to hide that there's been a disagreement somewhere.
I think that sounds sexy and exciting, like a sort of riff in a band sort of thing. I think what's happened is that they've just professionally just gone off. In
Surely
two
they still
different
follow each other,
tangents.
though.
I reckon they probably just send each other a text every now and then.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
I've heard there was a rift though.
Yeah, but what's, you can't, like, what,
Yeah.
what?
Money.
What's-
I'm putting my money on it's a money thing.
They've both got loads of money. It's fine.
Yeah, maybe. I think Gervais,
Maybe I'm
Gervais
being
has got
naive.
substantially more money than Merchant, though, hasn't he?
Merchant's still
Well,
multi-millionaire.
Gervais was
All
the
the two
face
lads.
of The Office, wasn't he? So it's
They must
you
still,
can't
still
be
be
bitter of that.
from all the different offices they made. They must still be making a
Yeah,
lot of money off
they'll
that.
be absolutely fine. The pair
They'll
of
be
them.
absolutely
I
fine.
can't
I
imagine
hope
they're
Steve's
falling
all
out
right.
about money. I've had dinner with Stephen Merchant.
Yeah.
What was he like in real life?
Giant,
Yeah, he is huge. Yeah, yeah.
so tall.
What was he like to talk to?
Just amazing. Just really funny, really witty. Just as you would expect. Super quick, dead intelligent. And me just sitting there going, "It's Stephen Merchant,"
Yeah.
the whole time. I brought nothing to the table.
You ordered a meal.
I was the waiter, so I
Yeah.
literally brought everything to the table.
When you say you had dinner with him, yeah.
But I think, as interesting as that sounds, like sort of like you can imagine them on VH1's Behind the Comedy or something.
They don't
like
do
that.
any talking heads anymore, though. Now, they used to do all those talking heads together. I think
They do
Yeah.
nothing together ever, and they don't speak to publicly speak about each other.
I think Merchant lives in LA now full time, and Ricky Gervais lives in London, and they're
should
doing
get him on
different
the podcast.
stuff.
It seems like he'll do anything these days.
we should try and get Ricky on the podcast. Ricky would actually be a great interview, I think. Really interesting guy.
The thing is, there's only so far you can go with Ricky. I've watched some of his interviews, and there's a wall up.
I still feel like even when the wall's up, he's still got some really
he's
interesting...
funny. He's
Yeah.
hilarious.
I don't even want him to be funny. I actually quite like the stuff I listened to the podcast for was almost like philosophical chat where he was trying to wind people up philosophically. I quite liked.
Sure.
Yeah, when he was like, "Does God really exist?" or like all these sort of
Yeah.
things, and he's quite good at flipping the tables and sort of always just taking the other angle.
That's my only sort of. I'm not religious,
No.
and
Good for you.
but I wouldn't ever sort of look down on someone for having.
He
that
is quite
faith.
condescending towards.
Yeah, and his Twitter thing is sort of like he will take the piss out of all these religions and stuff like this. Do you
Yeah.
reckon? But why does he have to do that? Why does he?
Because I think as an atheist, sometimes
But
it
he's
gives,
like the atheist equivalent of Jehovah's Witnesses. It's almost as if he's knocking on people's door, going, "By the way, there's no God." It's like, well, I didn't ask.
I guess so, but then I guess if you don't want to hear that, don't follow him. Do you know what I mean?
No,
I guess if you like his
absolutely.
comedy,
yeah, absolutely.
I see what you're saying.
And that's his thing as well, because I like all his other stuff that he does when he's not talking about that.
Yeah.
But he'll like retweet someone's tweet saying, who's clearly riled up and offended by what he's been saying, because people will defend their religion.
Yeah.
So that's why I wouldn't go to them. You're an idiot. What, you believe that there was an ark that carried two of every animal? This is nonsense. And
to be fair, when he deconstructed the Bible in that style,
That is probably one of his best bits.
One of the all-time great funny moments on stand-up.
So what I
First
would
two
say to
stand-ups were his
that,
best.
a lot of that stuff doesn't stand up to scrutiny, sure,
Yeah.
but it depends how literally you take those things. Like, so I'm not religious, but my mum and dad gave me this book that I used to have called The Children's First Bible, and there's a lot of the New Testament stuff and a lot of the Jesus stories and
God's
stuff like
best
that.
work.
And it was a great sequel. It was absolutely brilliant.
repurposed.
Yeah. But
I heard he had some ghostwriters.
so like
Literally
I was reading
YouTube's
the
originals.
story when Jesus fed 5,000 people from a couple of loaves of bread and some fish.
The first Hello World.
And but and the way the way I was trying to read it to him was I was like I read that story and he literally finished on that, and the more he gave away, the more he had. And the way I was trying to explain that story to my son was like, from this story, don't take away that some bloke managed to feed all those people with just a couple of loaves of bread.
Though that is incredible.
That is incredible. But don't take that as the message.
What is it?
What he's saying is, and this is how I explained it to my son, and I thought this was fucking good dadding. I thought I was dadding his brains out.
It doesn't explain sex. But at this point, he's talking about how Jesus.
What gay means.
I said to him, I said, say you've got your last pickled onion Monster Munch, and your little brother Jude says, "Oh, I'd really like that that pickled onion Monster Munch. Can I have that?" I said, well, you're in your rights to say, no, this is mine, you had yours.
Yeah.
I'm going to have this. And you could eat that and it'd be lovely and you'd feel good for eating that. I said, but imagine how good you'd feel giving that to your little brother and making him happy. The more you give away, the more you get. And I thought that was fucking spot on, Dad.
And how did he respond to that?
He just he looked up, he sort of was looking at the ceiling and went, we got any Monster Munch?
What is your philosophy on dadding then? What kind of dad do you want to be?
I want to be just a sort of chilled out entertainer. No, I do. I want.
Do you ever just call them into the living room and go shoot?
I say, keep your head down.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the thumbnail.
No, I do. I want to be someone who they can talk to about anything, and it doesn't condescend them or treat them, because my kids aren't stupid. They're fucking quick and sharp, and they ask the right questions and want to know what everything is, and I love talking to them about, unless it's anything to do with sex for some reason, but I turn into sort of like a sort of
gibbering mess.
Yeah, sort of.
Do you avoid it? How do you avoid it? So if they go, say they said to you, "How was I born?" Do you still go, "It's the stalk"?
No, I don't say the stalk. We go.
That's silly, isn't it? Yeah.
I go as far as to say, "Well, you were in your mummy's tummy."
Tummy.
Yeah.
Stomach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at 6 years old, that's more than enough, isn't it?
Yeah,
is it?
That's
honestly,
as far as it goes at the moment.
But your mum was sexual health
I was out
advisor
shagging when I was 6. I was cracking on.
You were shagging her out, yeah. I see now how you bring yourself into your characters. yeah. That must be quite, I suppose it is. And then they go to the mum and they go, "Daddy's giving us a really shit explanation. What's the real explanation of this?"
I think we back each other up, me and Mrs. Yeah, we're quite a good team.
You were in there,
We're both on the same page in how we want our kids to sort of be kids for as long as possible.
Do you know when you first got with your last mate? I remember seeing you in the newspaper, and
that's the only time I've been in the newspaper.
And I remember a bit because I was a fan of the show, and I was like, it registered at the time. You never see him in the newspapers, and then this girl is with you, and it was almost like you had to justify your relationship for some reason, or there was like questions being asked of, what's happening with these two.
I don't know. It was really weird.
What was getting said at that time?
What happened was. I wanted a holiday, and the winter was the only time that I had off from work to go on holiday, and so you go to Barbados apparently, and so I booked a holiday to go to Barbados, and it was just meant to be me and her just sitting by a pool for a couple of weeks.
Inbetweeners money's going.
And so we did that, and when we were at the airport, some bloke come up to me. And I was like, I wasn't there as a celebrity or anything. I was waiting for the coach to take me to my hotel. Yeah. It was like the Inbetweeners, the first movie. And this bloke went, "Oh, is this going to the hotel?" And I went, "Oh yeah. We're heading there now. Yeah, this will take you straight there." And he went, "Oh, all right, thanks." And then walked off. And I went, "Oh, that's weird." And the pictures that were in the paper are literally us. Because we genuinely thought we were on our own. Like, my missus was in like a top that went see-through because she was in the sea, and we just thought we were
on holiday,
mortified. Like when the pictures came out, we were like really like, "Oh, this is really sad." Like, we don't want this. This isn't what we want. We wanted to go on holiday, and we had to actually stop going to the beach after a while because it was like, because this guy came up to us, came into our hotel after taking the pictures. and he's like the head of the paparazzi on Barbados, because we were like, I think Take That or something were in the hotel next door to us.
Wankers.
And Simon Cowell, we were all on the same beach, and Simon Cowell's house is just a mile or so up the road.
Right.
Wanker.
And this guy came up to us and he was like, oh, hello, and I just treat everyone dead nice because, you know, as I've said before, it's a good way to live your life. And he was talking to me and he was like, listen, we can pay, you know, do you want to go on any excursions? Would you like to do skydiving, go up in a balloon? So we can pay for all that. And you know, just let us take a couple of pictures and da-da-da. And I went, oh, do you know what, mate? I'm fine. Like, I really don't. I'm not interested in being in the paper that much. Like, it's like, and then he said, well, we're going to take your picture anyway. And I went, oh, right. And then he said, you know, you've come to the wrong place. If you didn't want to go on holiday and have your picture taken, this is where everyone is right now. And I genuinely had no idea. Like, I didn't know that at all. So we just, it ended up being a couple of days on the beach where they took pictures of us and our pictures are like this, because there was like a dot, and there's one of our pictures where like this. There's one picture where I was just trying to make my girlfriend at the time, she's my wife now, I was doing the Peter Andre dance.
Right, yeah.
And there's a picture of me going like that, and I was like, oh no. That was just like, it was meant to be just us.
You
like, I thought,
laughing and joking
I thought that's what it was, and we were sort of really shocked that, and sort of naive, I guess, that there wasn't going to be any pictures. But I've never thought it was interesting enough. It's just not interesting. It's just the guy and his girlfriend.
It doesn't have to be
holiday.
interesting though, because this is the reason you go on the Daily Mail website. It's just like scrolling for bollocks, basically.
Yeah, I'm part of the problem.
And then it's like, oh well, that guy on the Inbetweeners, he's on holiday. Let's have a look at that. See what he's up to.
I guess if they can make a couple £100 out of, they're already there.
I don't know how much money they're making.
No, but they will have sold those pictures for something though, won't they?
know,
so if they can just go, well, I'm already here, I might as well.
Worth it. But,
I guess it is.
But what was really funny was
it's a shite job, isn't it?
There was this guy that would rent his jet ski out, and we got chatting to him quite a lot, and he was like this Jamaican guy, and he was really funny, and we rented his jet ski a couple of times, and then the bloke that came and spoke to me, who was the head of the paparazzi out there, they start talking, and he's going, yeah, just a couple of miles down there, and I was like, oh right, so everyone's in on this.
Mm-hmm.
What? This is conspiracy.
Be. Yeah, you're in on the take.
And yeah, so they these people for money will say to the paparazzi where the people are.
Easy money for them, isn't it?
And yeah, it's a strange situation to be in, especially if you don't think naturally, well, I'm off the telly, I'm quite famous, people are going to want to take the picture of me. It's a really shock. It's a massive shock. It's
a bit sinister in a way, because I don't like the way that he almost said to you, I don't know if you quote him word for word, but you come to the wrong place.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said.
Because that would piss me off. I'd be a bit like, well, I'm always in the wrong place then. I booked a fucking holiday, and it's not like they grew as plants and they just happen to have cameras. They've gone there, planted themselves there, and then gone, right, we're going to take pictures of all these people whether they want it or not.
Yeah,
and then he's gone, well, we're going to take your picture anyway. You might as well cash in so that we sort of feel better about ourselves in a way. I don't know.
But again, I guess a normal person would have gone, well, yeah, take a picture of me if you want, and if you want to give me money for it, fine. Like, it doesn't make any difference. But again, my stubbornness was just like, I don't want your money.
You sort of kept the integrity there, though. I can respect that quite a lot, because even though someone sort of said, I'm going to take it anyway, you might as well take the money. You didn't take the money.
I don't think it's integrity. I think it's just, I'm on holiday, mate. Like, it's just.
But you're on holiday. You could have just gone, okay, I'll take the money anyway. Why not? Do you know what I mean?
Suppose.
Maybe it didn't occur to you. You're not the businessman that I maybe thought you were.
No, it's just that's not how I want to make money, I guess.
Yeah.
You're right, it is integrity.
Yeah.
I am good, didn't I?
I've talked you around to that one, haven't I? Yeah. I suppose I do have integrity, actually. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you really feel great about yourself now. And so when you go to LA and stuff, is that, I suppose that feels a bit like a holiday in itself anyway.
Yeah,
you're over there, it's sunny, everyone's having a good time anyway.
Yeah, I've got my car out there, I've got an F-150 pickup truck, and I drive that around, and I love it, absolutely love it.
No pictures, please. No pictures.
No one's
just a big pickup truck.
It's fine, yeah.
Do you like the fact that you're a sort of nobody in LA by comparison over here?
Yeah, it's really I'm quite an anxious person, and I care about what people think of me, and
that's something you don't really hear people say these days because it's not cool, I guess.
I know, yeah. I don't know why that is. You should care about what people think of you. I think you should. I think we should all want to be seen as good, honest people. I think that's important.
As long as you are a good, honest person.
You don't have to be. Just have to be seen.
Right, yeah.
And then you make a great politician.
Weird like that, isn't it? Like
But
caring
no,
what people think.
I think it's important to care what people think of you. You want to be nice to people and stuff like that. And it's and so when I leave the house here, I'm in the mode to go. Someone goes, "All right, Jay," and now I'm in the mode to go, "Hey, hi, hello, you
Right.
I'm fine.
You're
good,
playing your role a little bit in a way. Then
I guess
you sort of
so,
see
a
that
little
as
bit,
like
yeah. So maybe
almost a duty in a sense.
It isn't as honest as maybe you think. Like, but
Right.
I do want to sort of.
You do perk up a little bit though.
Yeah, I don't.
started doing
But
that.
only not because I'm not happy.
What?
Started perking up a little bit.
No, what I mean is when I get recognised,
Yeah.
I realise that people
Because if
have an
you're in-
image that in their head of this is the moment that they're going to remember of me.
Yeah.
And I don't want them to walk away
Exactly, yeah.
with that story of True Geordie's a cunt in real life.
Yeah, or just
the
sort of
reality.
like, or just sort of like.
Ironically, I'm
when-
more of a cunt on
If you're
screen.
just in a good mood,
Yeah.
you don't walk down the street like sort of
No, you just
grinning.
walk-
you just
you
walk.
just have that normal blank expression, yeah.
And so I don't want to have that blank expression when I meet people because I don't want them to think that I'm not happy and okay with us
So
talking.
you play
yeah.
more towards a happier version of you than what you necessarily.
I am
No, but
happy.
but what I mean is when we're walking down the street, say we're in a 5 out of 10, we're not particularly happy.
Yeah.
We haven't just won the lottery, but we're not sad. This is normal.
neutral.
This is my neutral. But when you meet someone, you hire it into first gear. Do you know what I mean? Just so
Yeah.
they get a little bit of perk from
Yeah,
you.
you don't want to sort of just go, oh, you're someone. When someone goes, oh, like who's excited to see you and goes, oh my god, you're Jay from the Inbetweeners. You don't want to just go, yep. Because
And-
that's fine. That's a perfectly acceptable way to talk. So I haven't done anything
It
wrong.
is, but it's not enough, is it? People
Yeah.
want more from that moment.
Yeah. So
Generally.
it's. I feel that I want to give people that, I guess, and so I have to be. That's sort of on my mind. I need to be ready to do that.
Please them a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not just sort of going about my business and thinking about something else.
Is it also a little bit that you say no to this, but is it a little bit that your characters tend to be wankers in a way, and actually you're quite a nice guy? Someone comes up to you and goes, bus wankers or whatever.
Yeah,
How do you feel about that sort of thing?
I tell you what, I'm dead lucky because like those characters that I play, people laugh at and like, and I do think there's a lot of people that are disappointed when they meet me because they'll be like, fucking hell, it's fucking Jay. All right, Jay, where are you off to, mate? And I'll be like, oh, I've just taken the kids to school and now I've got to take this dry cleaning and then I've got to stop at Sainsbury's on the way home. And they go,
oh.
Real person.
you can just see a bit of their soul die because they expect me to go, I was just out shagging supermodels, wasn't I? And stuff. And it's just like,
do you ever think of
you
doing
ever
that? Yeah.
Have you ever done that just for a laugh, just to see what
just to
people
shag some supermodels?
just be like, just to play right up to the character.
Nah, because I don't want people to think. Oh,
Also, because then out of nowhere, your wife walks over and goes, "Do we need Pampers?" And you go, "Fuck yeah, supermodels, isn't it? Yeah, wicked. Yeah, cool."
One thing that you've addressed a little bit earlier, but like
I am still in Pampers.
But for him, by the way, not his kids.
For him,
yeah,
we've had
Shits himself.
we've had actors on before who have urges to be, Hollywood stars, and they want to show their range and all that. You say you want to stay in your lane a bit more.
I don't mind that at all. I don't see the problem with that.
No, there isn't.
Because like when you look at someone like Jennifer Aniston, who is basically just lovely, funny Jennifer Aniston in all her films, and I love her for it. She's great. She's pretty, and everyone loves her. What's wrong with making a career out of doing that?
Yeah.
Why do you have to? I mean, to be fair, she has done serious stuff as well, because I'm sure she decided she didn't want to just do that.
Pretty much, she's typecast. But regardless of that, what is your long-term goal though from that? To do more comedy series?
I've never set a goal or decided that I wanted to be here at this point or anything like that. I've always I just want to do stuff that I think is fun and I think it makes me. I mean, I've done. I've tried to do a bit of other stuff. Like I did like a little low budget horror film because I really love horror films.
What was that called?
The Pyramid, and I guess that was me accidentally playing the game because it was for Universal, and I made some contacts in that studio in America, in Hollywood, and also I got a working visa from doing that for America and stuff like that. So it actually became quite a sort of good move on my part professionally.
Checkmate.
The movie didn't do that well, but it was just it was what it was, a silly little horror film, and it was fun to make, and the good people that I was working with who I thought were nice and I liked spending time with, and that's sort of what I think about when I'm taking a job.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe yeah.
I don't think you're doing that wrong, by the way. I just think that actually the culture is not to do that for a lot of people. They sort of want.
I think you just got to do what you want to do, I guess. If something comes up that makes you interested in that sort of you feel is fulfilling professionally, then you should do it.
You've got more of a relaxed attitude though than most people.
I'm not desperate. I'm not desperate to go to be like, I've got to shake this Jay.
No, I don't know if desperate's the word, but some people, they come across, like you say, as more of a long-term goal, and whereas I think, I'm not saying that your one attitude is better than the other. Maybe going from role to role is, smart, because then you're going to take each job at a time and focus on it more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I never try and do. If I, my busiest time is when I have something lined up after something I've just done. I've known people that have done this, that are making TV shows and then doing a play in the evening, and I don't have the mental capacity to be able to concentrate.
The energy that
much.
must fucking take.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course.
Jesus.
I think though some people, you ride that wave as well, don't you?
It's hard to carry it on though, say for the first week maybe, but I can only imagine, like, we spend a lot of time in front of the camera, and as a bloke who did a proper 12-hour fucking physical job every day, sometimes 15-hour days, 7 days a week, like, it's a weirdly comparable energy draining feeling being in front of a camera for a lot of hours. I never thought it would be, because it's not physically draining, but you are fucking tired at the end of the day, because you're trying to be entertaining and you're concentrating and using all your energy in that way, and it is quite similar, surprisingly.
I mean, I'd say that a lot of people don't understand that, but at the same time, my saying has always been, I got into acting because I didn't want to work for a living, because I did, I worked as a chippy, and I worked in the Home Office for 6 months, and as a courier I worked in Matalan.
I was going to say, you worked in the Home Office 6 months. I was going to be like, this is a fascinating rabbit hole.
What
as
those
courier,
experiences?
No. I worked in the Home Office, but I also worked as a courier.
Right.
I was an admin officer in the Home Office.
What was that? I mean, that was when was that?
HR. When was that? It was probably 2004.
Just asking. His script up on the roof, by the way, just in case. Yeah.
Do you know how Gervais says, like, because we talked about him earlier, he pulled from his office job that he had when making The Office. When you do your sort of roles, did you pull from any of those experiences in particular, or is there anything that stood out?
At the moment, I'm writing a pilot that probably will never get made.
That's the spirit.
It's the attitude.
Yeah.
It's based on the workingmen's club that I've been drinking at since I was 14.
What you need is someone who looks like a working man who can drink in there and play one of the roles, don't
It's
you?
from East London.
I mean, traveller.
Versatile.
Traveller.
Versatile. Do you East London?
Nah.
Do Mustang Sally?
I think my accents are pretty lit. Well, I can do a Cockney accent, but it's
Jamaican. Is that a problem?
I can do Cockney, but it sounds too over the top Cockney.
Shut up.
It's cliche Cockney.
Yeah.
So this working man's club.
Yeah, and that's all. A lot of that is based on stories from when I was fitting kitchens and drinking every day.
Sort of Phoenix Nights-ish sort of thing.
No. Well, possibly. I've not seen it, but people keep.
Oh, you've not seen Phoenix Nights? Okay.
No, yeah. Which I'm sure a lot of people are going, you're mental. You should probably watch that, mate.
I can actually
a lot of
recommend
people
Phoenix
do like
Nights.
it.
Peter Kay makes me laugh quite a lot from that era. Does he not make you?
I don't like Peter Kay's stand-up, so that's what's always put me off.
It's lowest common denominator, Peter Kay, generally. He has had some very funny moments in those series. And was it him and Paddy when they had that show?
Yeah.
That was
Paddy
quite funny.
Yeah.
But once I went towards like Partridge and Gervais and all of that, whenever I watched Peter Kay again, I was like, oh, this is like so watered down by comparison.
That's so interesting, because actually the way that I saw Peter Kay, and I guess the thing is, you also have to come across a comedy at the right time, because if you come across it at the wrong time, you might be, this is shit.
Yeah.
And actually it can be funny, but it's to me linked with like happy memories of watching it with my dad and those sorts of things.
Well, that's what I was about to say so when I think of Peter Kay, I think of being in a room full of family, maybe at Christmas time.
Yeah.
And like Nana and Granda and parents laughing hysterically, and I'm like...
When I think of Peter Kay, I think of him just constantly trying to bring out a Christmas song, or...
Yeah, like the guy who milked it a little bit.
He went on Red Nose Day once. I might be
this is the way to Amarillo.
So this might be libelous or something. But he went on Red Nose Day.
Just say allegedly.
It was like, and they were like, Peter Kay, everyone. And he did his bit. I think he might have sang a song. And then he just went, yeah, tour next year, everyone.
No, that does sound like Peter Kay.
I was like, come on, mate.
Yeah. But is that not? That's part of the comedy
in Africa.
That's part.
They won't be able to make it to the top.
Yeah. Those people in Africa are going, fuck's sake, I've got to save South Africa. But is that not so? That's the funny bit, because that's actually Ricky Gervais almost made that okay to do that, or at least I think Ricky Gervais' set almost made it okay to be like, by the way, I've got the DVD as well. That sort of became its own kind of comedy, is yourself plugging yourself.
No, but it wasn't in a funny way. No, it wasn't in an ironic way. It was. Do you not think he really has bizarre? I'd like to think so, because he's a comedian. I think
he makes comedy for grandmas, though. Like that's Peter Kay.
It just felt odd and misjudged.
I think it feels a bit like, basically Peter Kay got offered all these things, and in the beginning it felt like quite a pure idea of Peter Kay's had this idea. He's written his Working Man's Club idea in. Not in Dagenham, so you're all right.
Sure, yeah.
You're fine. And then it went too far, because people went, this is really commercially successful. I really like that.
Yeah.
And actually his observations are quite clever in the way that he set things up. The dynamic was actually quite touching sometimes, but people milked it too much. And when you milk it too much, people get sick of it.
Well, I mean, we made 2 movies off the back of our sitcom, so we can't really fucking start.
Did you have any merch? Was there merch?
Oh, there must have been.
No, there wasn't. There was a lot of bootleg merch.
What do you sell, like school jumpers and stuff? Like, that would have been hilarious.
No, we never did anything like that.
That would have been really clever.
There was a book. There was a book that came out, and but that was really it. We wasn't. Again, I guess we were all the same, sort of not business savvy. Maybe we should have.
You were all comedians, though, weren't you? Or three of you were.
Blake's one of the funniest people I know, but he's not a comedic actor.
Will was, though.
Which Will was Will the geeky
What's Will's real name?
Of the one.
Yeah. He's got some really good.
I really fancied the one he had that awkward sex moment with. She was hot.
I knew you would.
She was so fucking hot.
He's got some really good.
He did that university thing, yeah.
And his stand-up's really good, actually. And again, it's from that Gervais sort of
school
irony.
Yeah.
They are on YouTube. If you type in Simon Bird stand-up, there's this one where he did. It was the Chortle comedians.
Yeah. And he'd been in for 3 previous years.
Because he kept doing. I think he was like halfway through his masters or something like that when the Inbetweeners started getting big, and he went, well, I'm not going to do this anymore. I think his mum and dad were quite upset, because he was going to become a doctor or something like that.
Wow.
Like but a doctor in philosophy or something.
Right, so not a real one.
Yeah.
And, so if someone's having a heart attack, it's pretty useless.
He'll go,
I mean, to be fair, it really helps out.
If someone's having a heart attack, he'll turn to you and go, see, that could be you. And
what is life?
Things aren't so bad, are
they?
Yeah,
exactly,
You're absolutely right.
But thanks for that.
Thanks.
Is there a doctor in the house? Yes, actually, yeah.
But his stand-up stuff. There's one year it was sponsored by Mars, And so he read out the terms and conditions.
Yeah.
Because the terms and conditions were like, you're not allowed to talk about any other confectionery. So he started doing loads of jokes on Cadbury's and Galaxy and stuff like that. And he got disqualified.
Yeah.
And then
it is, but it's so hilarious because everyone in the room is almost in shock that
he read out the contract and
Wow.
And then the next.
He mustn't have got much money from Mars, because if they paid him good money, then
you don't get money.
No,
to
you
enter
don't get
competition,
money.
though.
It's just sponsored by Mars. It's just the Mars children's student. Same thing.
He's
They're all
still
the
young.
same to me. And then the next year he did this thing where he was like, I don't want to sway the judges. I don't want to, but there is a cash prize for this, and I will be donating it to a battered women's shelter.
Yeah.
So bring out the check.
Yeah.
And he gets these two people to bring out a big check, and then he's like, so I'm just saying, a vote for me is a vote for battered women, or if you don't care about women that suffered abuse, that's up to you.
It was really clever. And on YouTube as well, it's sort of this like grainy footage.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not even HD. I'm not even sure. It's
sort of
4:3.
like early Spencer footage type shit.
Yeah.
Spencer was a comedian.
But not nearly as good as what Spencer's early comedy was. Fantastic.
Spencer's early videos of the fucking...
Just that balaclava he's always wearing.
His girlfriend keeps putting shit out on her Instagram of him like dancing the fucking like...
Really?
Yeah, like 80s music. It's hilarious. He's got some really embarrassing old stuff out there.
But then you've also been on stuff that like as we all grew up watching talk shows and stuff like that. You've also been on Graham Norton. You've not been on Jonathan Ross.
Yeah,
You've been on Jonathan Ross.
Yeah.
You've been on stuff like This Morning as well. Now those are two different classes of show.
Yeah.
But Graham Norton, Jonathan Ross at their peak as well. Like when they were
It's really weird.
the big shows. What was that like as an experience?
It's really bizarre. I was on Jonathan Ross, and Tom Cruise was another guest on Jonathan Ross.
When it was on the BBC and when it was good.
No, this was when it had just moved over to ITV.
So
just missed that window, just by
Missed
that
the
much.
good bit,
Could
Four
have
Puffs and
become a
Piano,
massive
yeah.
star. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to have met the Four Puffs.
Yeah.
And
that's all right to
and
say.
The piano, sorry, piano.
Yeah.
Nothing against pianos.
Yeah, exactly.
But-
LGBTP. Yeah.
But it is really weird. Like Tom Cruise, who
LGBT.
like Top Gun.
What?
That is class.
Top Gun's one of my favourite fills.
I'm sure that guts him to say
I
that
just
because
love it.
that's the same as his Inbetweeners, essentially.
I absolutely love Top Gun,
Yeah.
I got a real kick out of meeting Tom Cruise, and he was dead happy, so happy. And my son had just
Weird,
been born,
that.
and he was literally like about 2 months
MDMA.
old or something. And so my wife and this little tiny little baby was with me in the dressing room, and he was just coming around to say hello to everyone. And then he was like, "Oh my god!" And he grabbed this baby, and he was like, "Oh, this is the greatest baby ever." And I was like, What? What's going on? I was like, Tom Cruise is holding my baby. So when you go on those...
Were you worried that, because the thing is with Tom Cruise, I've seen him on Oprah where he gets on
turns very quick.
He gets on the sofa and he starts jumping up and down with excitement, and you start thinking to yourself,
don't jump on the baby.
There'd be a bit of me thinking he could just swing that baby by its ankles, smash its skull.
This is
off
the greatest
wall.
baby.
It's very delicate. And
this is the greatest baby.
I know, yeah.
And you're just going, I loved you in Top Gun.
I love Tom Cruise. I think he's brilliant. I don't think he gets enough credit as an actual actor. I really don't think he does.
He's a great actor.
He's very good in Mission Impossible.
I think he's brilliant. And Jack Reacher's fucking great. It's so
Jack
much
Reacher's
fun,
great
those
action films.
films.
I like them in Scientology.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
You see him on stage.
Yeah, that's when it's sort of...
The Scientology thing really freaks me the fuck out.
Because I've seen those internal... You all right?
Sorry. Con's just doing a back scratcher. What?
This kid is honestly... if you've got any experience in shooting podcasts and that, and you know how to be quiet and take attention away from the actual podcast...
I assume your job is to not distract people. And you're sitting there going like that. Like right where I'm looking.
The funniest thing is that he's literally sitting there doing this behind your back as you were talking about a really critical thing. Tom Cruise, brilliant.
But that is that
75 podcasts we're into now. 76, 75, and this kid, like the amount of things I have to tell him is unbelievable.
Every week, turn the audio on.
But when he was holding my baby,
rolling it. Yeah.
that did cross my mind a little bit.
You?
Oh, I was just thinking of that. You know, when that internal Scientology video got leaked, and he was like, "Yeah, man, when you're there, man,
Yeah,
you just go straight for it, man." And it's like, oh God,
you
what?
are not
Yeah, no,
one-dimensional
he's
as an actor.
and
Just to be clear, that was excellent.
That was actually really good.
He's like this, and he's like going.
No, I think we know he's mental. I think that's quite obvious. He's mental.
When you meet an SP man,
Yeah.
I just want to go up to these guys and go, wake up!
Yeah.
And you're just like, I don't want that to happen to my baby.
Yeah.
Please.
And at the same
Don't bring
time,
that energy into
in
the
your
baby.
head, Danger Zone.
Also,
Kenny Loggins is playing.
We just gone to sleep, so you can fuck off.
Yeah. I went to. You're going. I loved you in Top Gun.
Yeah.
You're brilliant.
We just got him to sleep. What did he fuck up?
And Tom Cruise will literally go, greatest baby ever. Yeah, I've just met an SP.
Yeah.
The baby feels like it's in a washing machine at this point. He just will not stop.
And I was
Did
just
she scream?
I don't like the way you're holding that baby, Tom.
Yeah.
You're a maverick.
Yeah.
You're dangerous up there.
Yeah. Anyway, and then he turned to you and went, did your wife scream in childbirth? And you went, yes. And he said, I don't agree with that. You must stay stony silent throughout childbirth.
Is that a Scientology thing?
Yes.
When you put the baby down.
Yeah.
Sure.
So to be fair, when he said put the baby down, he means gave the baby back.
the
He
baby
didn't
down.
go,
Yeah.
I'm going to put this one down.
I don't think they should be
Yeah.
put down.
You should gas him, if anything.
Should we just do a load of office?
You're a total
quotes?
SP though.
Yeah.
So.
I'm not an SP at all, because I don't mind. You're allowed to do whatever you want as long as
Have
you
you
don't.
seen the Leah Remini show?
Yeah, I'm watching it at the
Oh
moment.
mate, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm in love with her a little bit as well.
I kind of want to fuck her, definitely.
Well, mine's deeper than that,
Yeah.
and that's what I would say.
So to speak. Yeah, exactly.
No, but
What about?
it is a shame.
Measure.
But what religions are there that doesn't have their little sort of corrupt?
Little though. Chasing people in a car, videoing them.
I was
trying
brought up Catholic, and
They're mental.
there's some stuff going on there a little bit,
Yeah.
isn't there? But it's not the religion, it's people.
Yeah.
So like the religion, on the face of it, Scientology, what it will say is like, we want to help you be a happier person, enjoy helping other people and all that, and you listen to that, you go, that's brilliant, like that's really good. And that's
aliens.
most religions.
Aliens.
Well, yeah, but
The whole religion
what's
is more
Jesus?
mental.
Like, is that could
he's
be
not an
sort of-
alien.
The whole religion
Might be.
is far more mental than Scientology.
Yeah.
Yeah, you fooled me there.
Yeah.
But that's
Aliens.
that's my thing, and I don't want to
Scientology
say
must be the
anything.
most mental one right now.
But to me, when you read all those stories, it's
Catholicism.
like what we were saying before about the putting two of every
It's the
animal.
way they chase you
I
down
think-
and
I
lock
think
you up.
they're
Though.
all the same.
They lock
Yeah.
people up in that, and they like have them beaten up and stuff like that. You know.
Yeah, that's not nice.
Um,
But Catholics have done
If
that.
I could just go up
Miscavige,
to
isn't he called?
if I could just go up to
Miscavige.
Dave and Miscavige and just go, oh, stop it, stop being so
You wouldn't
horrible
get in
to
the army,
people.
You'd be assassinated.
Do you not remember the Crusades?
Exactly, we got the old Crusades, yeah, Christianity.
Wankers.
You'd be assassinated.
Moorish going around. They've got all of South Spain. Beautiful architecture.
Is that where the word comes from? Do you think?
Yeah, this is so
Just like,
Moorish.
yeah.
More killing. Yeah. But so you're on Graham. So you're on Graham Norton.
We did a pun.
Yeah. No. So you're on Jonathan Ross,
Yeah.
and you're back in the green room. Is the green room quite lush? Is there a lot of like food around? Is it like what's it like?
I think there is food
just
around.
interested.
More
Isn't that
importantly,
experience
on
on
those
here?
things, there's beer, and I can't
lot.
help. That's my weakness. If
Yeah.
there's free beer,
Really?
I love a free beer. One, I like beer, and two, it's for free.
Yeah.
So I'm getting like a double rush.
Combo,
Do you
yeah.
not
I feel like I'm winning the world.
Do you
I'm
not
like,
feel
I'm-
like-
yes,
And
this is
M&Ms.
free.
Yeah.
You've got to tell a story on there basically when you go
Yeah.
on, and you have to have something lined up.
Yeah.
And is there a bit pressure because it's not like here where we're just going to chat and say what the fuck we come out with.
Yeah.
It's like right and go. Tell us
3
something good.
See,
3
I
minutes.
feel like I'm actually better at doing that now.
Yeah.
I used to just like when we used to do the Inbetweeners stuff. There's a lot of interviews where I don't say anything at all.
Yeah.
There's some interviews where I'm genuinely asleep because they're so fucking boring.
Wow.
There was this time when we were doing.
Thanks for
and
staying awake for us.
To be fair, I was jet
Might
lagged.
be asleep.
It's not like a conversation like this. You sit in a room with 4 chairs in a hotel room,
So
and,
guys-
and people have 90 seconds to come in and ask you the same questions.
Full of sound bites and that.
Yeah, you know,
quite warm.
who's more like their character? Like
Yeah.
that.
We got
And
offered stuff like that when we first started doing the pod, and I was like, I'm not doing that. Like,
It's really,
fuck that.
really difficult to do
mean
because it's
Ryan
just so
Gosling.
boring.
Well,
It
no,
really is
there's no
boring.
credibility. Like it's a bit, from my point of view, from what I'm trying to do. Like when you talk about acting, like why would I do that? I'm like, why would I go and ask one question from a guy? And like to me, when you have to do that and you're a journalist, like I suppose you're trying to make your way up and you're trying
Yeah.
to get the best possible quote you can.
It's part of
it's
it.
shit.
You become part of the churning.
Yeah.
Part of the dog shit. You're a needle in a haystack.
The thing that you have to remember on the other side is that you're trying to get people to know about this film that you've got coming out, and that's what's the important thing. But when we were in, there's a couple where we're in Australia. They must be on YouTube, and I was jet lagged in my defence, and I just put my sunglasses on, and I'm on a stool behind this. I think it's me, maybe Blake or Joe, and then the other two boys are in front. And I just put my sunglasses on and just nodded off. Just went to sleep. And that's not the first time I did that. I did it once at a table. Sort of where you have 4 or 5 journalists at one end of the table, and we're all at the other end of the table, and I was just like that. Just fell asleep with my head on the table. And
they go, he's very like his real life character.
Joe had to nudge me.
Wow.
And I did the whole thing where I was like,
yeah. I'm like Jay. Yeah. Bus wankers.
Yeah.
What? Nothing. That's weird. But again, so back to Jonathan Ross. So
what's your obsession with Jonathan Ross?
I just want to know about the talk shows. The talk show's quite interesting. Do you know what I mean? So you've done Graham Norton, done Jonathan Ross. You're sitting on a couch with other celebrities, right? Who were you on both those shows with?
So Tom Cruise was one of them, and then like Selma Hayek. David,
I like her.
David Walliams.
Selma Hayek is really curvy.
She's quite beautiful, isn't she?
Oh yeah, mate.
Right.
She seems well, all right as well. She seems like
I love the Inbetweeners.
Back when I found out about Jennifer Lopez, I found out about her as well, and that was when I was like, these are the kind of women I want. Was when I was 13, basically.
Right. But he was
but
never had one.
She's quite a big star, isn't she?
Yeah.
So you just sort of feel like I just picked up from Dagenham and just plunked on this couch.
Yeah. And were you just sitting next to Salma Hayek then?
Yeah. Right next to her.
And she sort of going, good to see you.
Yeah.
Could have just reached out and...
Yeah.
I suppose so.
There's a lot of that going on in Hollywood at the moment.
Yeah.
So probably not worth doing.
I want to be part of the solution.
Yeah. No. Whereas you actually probably want to be part of the problem in a way, don't you?
Not quite the problem, but like I just want to touch Salma.
Okay, right.
I want to touch Salma in her be complicit in that and her want it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good luck with that. And
it's unlikely.
Yeah. 0.
I mean, it's unlikely.
Yeah. And then when you get on there, were you quite awkward at that time, or were you sort of like, this is my mum and dad are going to watch this? You know?
The most recent one, I felt more comfortable, and that was the Graham Norton one. And
what's Graham like?
Great. He's fucking brilliant. Like, it's really... you have to have something about you to do those jobs. Him, Alan Carr as well. Alan Carr was good fun. And obviously Jonathan Ross. They do what they do, and they're successful at what they do for a reason. It is. There are a lot of people that will do... that has a talk show or something like that. Alan Titchmarsh and things like that. He'll have one in the afternoon.
Very flat.
Yeah. But these people... They hang out with you before the show starts filming and stuff like that, and want to have a rapport with you, and want the show to be good, and want you to feel comfortable. And that brings out the best in their guest. And those three in particular are really, really good at doing that, and that's important to do. And a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah. You get out there, you meet them for the first time.
Yeah. And so if you ever find yourself in a situation where you have to be on a talk show, I'd recommend those 3. Yeah, I don't think Alan Carr does his anymore, actually, which is a shame.
The American talk shows are good as well. Like, do you like?
Well, that's it. They borrowed that from America.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that sort of it's just a party. Let's just chat. Yeah, that must be quite exciting. I think you'd be quite good at that.
I think I'd be a good host.
Yeah, you'd be a great guest. You'd be really good. Yeah.
I also think you'd be a good host because you're gonna ask different questions. It's different to the normal format.
I'd like to do
Beardy James
my version of that, but I don't really feel like you get enough time with people. You know what I mean? It's
I think rushed.
And particularly in daytime TV, we see Loose Women and people like that. They try to go right to the sensitive issues with no tact, and then they give us the juicy clips this morning, and so we can just put that out from the internet or whatever. Whereas I like to treat people like people and not like a soundbite. So,
were you on This Morning?
Yes. So that's what that's like. So This Morning's live. So it is very much like they'll ask you a question, and then the camera will be to your shot while you're answering, so they're not on camera at the moment, and they'll go, so what was it like doing the Inbetweeners? And then they'll go, right, yeah, and you're talking to that.
Yeah.
And then I remember I kept being asked. You have to consider the other person and that they have a job to do, and they're trying to sort of. They have more on their plate than you just talking about your little film that you've got coming out.
The Pyramid.
But I was genuinely like, you're fucking rude.
Yeah.
Well, it is rude.
Because it's like, they ask you a question, and there was a couple of times when I've done sort of those live talk show type things, and they've asked me a question, and then they've asked me another question before I've answered the question. And I've had to sort of hold back from going...
That's a bit weird, isn't it?
I'll get to that in a second. But at the moment, I don't have much to say.
Yeah.
I promise you.
Actually, it's been a good chat though, hasn't it?
I've really enjoyed this chat.
When is this one going out, by the way? Because I wore a Christmas jumper.
Oh, go over Christmas. You'll be right. Yeah. We've got January 31st. Yeah. He looks like a right cunt now, doesn't he? Okay, great.
I've got it.
Okay, good. Where we were on Matt, who was the presenter on this morning? Was that Eamon Holmes? I've heard he's quite an unusual character.
Was that Eamon Holmes who did that?
Yeah, but like I said,
fucking bellend.
No, but like I said, I didn't consider at the time.
That'll be in the Daily Mail.
I didn't consider at the time that he's trying to run a TV show while I'm trying to sell.
You can though. You can
multitask though.
Yeah, you can do this. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to go.
Yeah.
No, great, yeah, absolutely, yeah. I guess though it's also a cultural thing. Maybe as a presenter, that's what he does. Maybe he wants to make you feel uncomfortable. So that you
Is he
sort
still
of play
on
up.
TV? Is he?
He is, yeah. He was on Sky for a while, and now he is.
His trajectory is steadily declining.
I think at one point Eamon Holmes was the biggest presenter in England. He was on Tomorrow's World at one time, wasn't he?
Didn't he do? How do they do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah.
God, he was a star.
Stuff now where if it was on YouTube, you go, that is fucking dog shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas Tomorrow's World was incredible.
How do they do that? It was fucking good.
Philippa Forrester was a great presenter.
So what's your next thing that you're doing?
Yeah.
Don't know. Genuinely don't know.
Brilliant. Lead actor.
Oh, mate.
That's weird, isn't it?
Is that gone? That's what happens.
Can I just say, just for the edit, if possible, when you re-edit this, can you
just make it look
a close shot on Laurence's face, because the terror. I actually thought it was like 9/11 2 in your face.
Yeah, we can't talk about that.
So we've had a lot of interruptions. We're just going to have to.
Well, I think the best way to do this is.
Okay.
I think the best way to do this is say you've been a really great first time guest on the podcast. What we tend to do is get you back a second time with thought of more questions.
Yeah. This is it. This is all I've got. We can do this all over again.
We did the kickoff. You were great on the kickoff.
You were actually really good on
one of my favourite guests.
We also still use a clip, which consistently where you just go, everyone's scoring against Palace.
Which one I really really liked, because I. Typical actor person. Oh, he praised me. Oh, thank you. And then by the time it's like I parked like 10 minutes away from here, and in those 10 minutes, once I got into my car, I was like, why was he so surprised?
Yeah,
because you were like, you were actually quite good.
We hadn't had many good guests until that.
No, I think because when I went on your podcast. That was, and I mean this in no offence.
You can say no. You can.
It wasn't a structured show.
It wasn't at all.
In fact,
it really suffered.
When I did your podcast, right, you were in LA at the time, and you were conducting. And this is so funny, right? God, he was conducting an interview in LA on screen, while your podcast partner was conducting another interview simultaneously. So it's like me being in LA doing an interview, and you being in London doing another interview, and we're all together through cameras talking to each other together.
So wait, where were you?
I was just sat in a room in London.
And where was your podcast partner?
He was in front of us.
Right.
And then he was on a TV screen in LA with another guy, and I had a couple of more. It was mad.
That's very normal in radio,
but
though,
the thing is, it was normal, but for me, it was like, this is mad, and I didn't really know what to make of it. So
it didn't work.
So when you came on the kickoff, I was like, I haven't really got a good idea of who you are,
Yeah.
so I didn't know
Yeah.
what to make of you. But when I was like, all right, so I get this guy now. Within 10 minutes, you are who I thought you were. But on the podcast, it was just mental.
Yeah, that
Also,
was...
you were less of a host then, were you? More of like a...
No, I was supposed to be a host.
No, but I mean, you were. I don't mean you weren't a host. I mean, you were maybe not. You didn't really know what your role was at that time.
Yeah, I felt like again, just trying to learn while doing, and that's what I was doing at the time.
Your YouTube channel give us much better insight into who you are as well.
It's also
Yeah.
probably
Promote
progressed
that.
you.
Promote that. What's
the
that
old
about?
YouTube channel.
What are you doing on your YouTube channel in
I
the
play
future?
video games. What are we doing on the that's a video game there. That's Sonic saying
Love it.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
What's in the future? Just more the same that I've already been doing. Basically, it's
It's another Gervais one.
Yeah.
More of these.
More of these.
More
Yeah.
of the guest spots. No, they just said to come and say hello.
The YouTube channel is doing what I want it to do, which is that it's. I mean, it's really self-indulgent and
Incredible.
If anyone watches it, then that's
Completed
always a
it, mate.
bonus. Completed it, mate.
Links in the description.
I will put the link then.
That'd be great. Thank you. So
10 people.
so if people watch that, then that's brilliant. But they might not like it.
What's your favourite? It's true. What's your favourite thing to play?
I played a lot of Call of Duty Black Ops 3 sort of last year and the year before. It's a really, really fun game. It's really it's a really YouTube friendly game because it's 10-minute rounds and
Boom, boom,
that,
bam, bam,
that
bam.
becomes easy
Lot of kills,
to do.
lot
of kills.
Yeah. There's not a story mode that you have to follow and stuff like that. You can.
There's not many lulls in the action though.
No,
You need
well there is
something
when I play it.
Yeah.
where you're camping for like 5 minutes.
He's camping.
So-
Any PUBG?
I did the
PUBG?
PUBG video last night that went out.
How was that? How, does it get your nerves?
It's me swearing a lot.
Yeah.
And it's me saying, "How the fuck do I get the map up?" About 8 times. I was going, and I keep all that stuff in because that's the only stuff that's entertaining.
Right.
And but it is just me going, "How do I get the fucking map up?" And I just jump cut to, "Where's the fucking map? Map." And I was just doing that for ages. I got really upset the first game that I played because I didn't know how to reload.
Yeah.
It's not
Intuitive.
not console intuitive because I was playing it on the Xbox.
Yeah.
And it is a PC game.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll go and watch that. If that
I'm
sounds
quite interested
funny.
to see people play PUBG because I feel like it's almost like
I've got no idea what it's about.
we explained it
I've
the
never
other day
seen
on the kickoff. It's the one where you are dropped, 100 people are dropped.
Oh
and you're
yeah,
the last
yeah.
one.
I
Yeah.
mean,
It's a really good concept.
H1Z1 did it. There's a few people who've done that style.
Yeah,
Grand Theft
yeah.
Auto-ish.
It's sort of like and what's interesting about PUBG isn't. I mean, I've said that now.
Yeah. It's true though.
Yeah, it's not interesting. Is that the guy? So there's also this other game called Fortnite,
Yeah.
spelled NITE, which annoys me for some reason. Battle Royale, and that's the same concept. You land on an island, and the area gets smaller and smaller and smaller until everyone has to meet, and eventually there's one person left alive. And that sounds like a great concept for a game. But that's exactly the same as PUBG. And this guy that made PUBG is like, I'm really upset that they've stolen this idea. But it's been around. The other idea's been around.
Survival games have been around.
It's been about.
Very similar though, isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, it's like a
It's just
Royal
funny.
Rumble with guns, basically. So.
Yes,
Apparently
exactly.
it really gets your nerves though. So because obviously you don't want to die, you want to hide or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to see you do
It is
that.
tense, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm the easiest person to make jump. Like there's one bit in the video where I just scream shit because somebody just walks into the camera. I open a door and I'm like, right, there's no one in here, and then they just walk into the shot and I go, ah!
And shoot them.
No,
maybe not.
No, don't shoot them.
Ah.
No.
Oh, great.
Something even more exciting happens.
Oh, well, leave it on a cliffhanger. Then.
Brilliant.
Leave it on a cliffhanger.
They shoot me.
So all right, leave it on a cliffhanger, so we can go and watch it after this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How I like to end me podcast
Yes.
is with a simple question: how would you like to be remembered, generally?
Just sort of an alright guy. I'd like to be remembered as a normal person, someone that didn't sort of become too away with the fairies. I'm proud of where I'm from, and I'm proud of the fact that I've got the same mates since I was 4 years old, and just a good bloke. and also a sex god. So
done.
Thank you very much.
Cheers,
very
mate.
much.
Thanks for coming on.
Absolute pleasure.
His link is in the description below. Go and check them out. I know I will be, to see that cliffhanger. If you haven't already, you spoiled it a little bit. Like the video, stay subscribed. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.